I just wanted to remind everyone, when you guys are in Senate, in committee meetings, any kind of official SGA meetings, just please maintain decorum, be respectful, and your language. Just general, not targeted to anyone in specific, but please just keep that in mind. Also, if we could start cleaning up the office a little better. There's been food stuff that gets left out every time we have something to eat, and we're gonna stop having stuff to eat. It keeps being that way. So please just, throw away plates, utensils, stuff. Does any other individual seek recognition to make an announcement? For the ballot thing? Or is it something else? Okay. Yeah, you're recognized then. Go ahead. Can we pass a microphone back there, please? And if you could state your name for the record, that'd be great.
Hello? Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll try to. Is this fine? Okay. My name's Robert Lee. I'm here on behalf of Master students, and my announcement is going to be a short presentation on. Oh, sorry. Still in regard to Master students, we have two announcements that we'd like to make regarding State House events out in Boston. We have. Let me get the date so I don't lie. That's bad. We have an official lobby day for the Hunger Free Campus Initiative that will be, like I said, take place in the State House in Boston. It's essentially where we are going to advocate on behalf of a bill that funds a grant program for public universities and colleges in the state of Massachusetts. It is to fight food insecurity, funding programs like campus pantries, food banks, staff to help support those who have questions about EBT, SNAP, WIC. But it is a program that has been cut. The programs are cut in recent years, and our job is to try to advocate for more funding. About 44% of public students in Massachusetts are food insecure. And that is the first announcement. Second one, also out in Boston, is the Massachusetts Oceans Conference. That's March 31st. Oh, I'm sorry. The first one was on March 12th. This one is March 31st, the Massachusetts Oceans Conference. This is a partnership with the Environment Massachusetts, Oceana, and the New England Aquarium. This is going to be kind of a big training, educational orientation day for folks who want to come on by and learn more about ocean advocacy, whether it's marine life or marine practices. During the day, there will be things like panels, trainings, workshops. You'll be able to learn and figure out what to do about ocean advocacy. We'll also be holding lobby meetings with state officials, which are very, very fun and interesting. You should really come by. But basically, yeah, it's an event at the State House advocating on behalf of marine policy, similar to the Hunger lobby meeting, but this is more of a orientational training day versus the Hunger lobby day, which is March 12th. That is an actual lobby day, but we'd be talking directly to state reps and advocating on behalf of a very specific funding bill. But that is all. RSVP links are in the minutes.
Are there any questions? Thank you. Does any other individual seek recognition to make an announcement? Senator Pacizo, you're recognized.
All right, so as you guys know, it's the campaign period, meaning that elections are coming up. So as part of that, ODC is organizing our yearly tabling. If you guys are interested in that, please let us know. An email with a sign-up form will be coming out soon. In tandem with our regular tabling, we're also going to try really hard to do a Pie Your SGA Officer event. Some of you have expressed interest in that. You don't obviously have to do it, but it'll be fun, and it's a good opportunity for you to engage with people in less of a formal setting. But yeah, so if you're interested in tabling, that form's coming out soon. Obviously not an opportunity to campaign, but a great opportunity to get people to actually vote, which is what we're trying really hard to do this year. So yeah, let us know.
Thank you. Are there any questions? All right. Does any other individual seek recognition? Chair Kim, go ahead.
Okay, this is coming from the Elections Chancellor Gabriel Heredia. If you are running for re-election next year, you definitely received a couple of communications from him already. If, in case anyone wasn't aware, and as I just mentioned, it's currently campaigning period, which will end officially on March 12th, which is a Thursday at 5 p.m. And voting period begins March 9th at 5 p.m. There were 96 hours for people to vote on campus polls. If you have any questions, please let him know. And there's one other question. If you are part of an RSO and you want them to endorse you, all RSO leadership, thanks to Chair Hood, got an email earlier today telling them how to fill out the form. You have to have a general body meeting where people vote for you and submit that to Will, who will review it by the Elections Commission, and then they will vote on it and approve the endorsement.
Thank you. Are there any questions? All right. Does any other individual seek recognition? There being none, the Associate Speaker will record the roll call.
Senator Shrafi. Senator Shrafi, absent. Senator Baumann. Senator Baumann, present. Senator Baker. Senator Baker, absent. Senator Belair. Senator Belair, present. Senator Breen.
Here.
Senator Breen, present. Senator Calvo.
Here.
Senator Calvo, present. Senator Chalmo.
Here.
Senator Chalmo, present. Senator Chaparro.
Here.
Senator Chaparro, present. Senator DeRiggi. Senator DeRiggi, present. Chair Dami. Chair Dami, present. Senator Dang. Present. Senator Pacheco.
Here.
Senator Pacheco, present. Senator Espinal.
Here.
Senator Espinal, present. Senator Hiernadani.
Here.
Senator Hiernadani, present. Chair Hood.
Here.
Chair Hood, present. Senator Huang.
Here.
Senator Huang, present. Senator Conan. Senator Conan, present. Senator Kennedy.
Here.
Kennedy, present. Chair Kim.
Here.
Chair Kim, present. Senator Coheisen. Senator Coheisen, present. Senator Lamore. Senator Malari. Malari, absent. Senator Mari. Senator Mari, present. Senator Martos.
Here.
Martos, present. Senator Meeson. Senator Meeson, absent. Chair Mello.
Here.
Chair Mello, present. Senator Morales-Aquino. Senator Morales-Aquino, absent. Senator Ng. Senator Ng, present. Chair Yeka. Chair Yeka, present. Senator Dish Patel. Senator Dish Patel, absent. Senator Mesh Patel.
Here.
Senator Mesh Patel, present. Senator Wright Patel.
Here.
Senator Wright Patel, present. Senator Reed. Senator Reed, present. Senator Rogers.
Here.
Senator Rogers, present. Senator Roy. Senator Roy, absent. Senator Saney.
Here.
Senator Saney, present. Senator Schuette. Senator Schuette, present. Senator Siegel. Senator Siegel, absent. Senator Sun. Senator Sun, absent. Chair Swirsky. Chair Swirsky, present. Senator Tacky. Senator Tacky, absent. Senator Tajwani.
Here.
Senator Tajwani, present. Senator Tao. Senator Tao, absent. Senator Tick.
Here.
Senator Tick, present. Chair Trong.
Here.
Chair Trong, present. Senator Valaka.
Here.
Senator Valaka, present. Senator Valencia Gallego.
Present.
Senator Valencia Gallego, present. Senator Bender Wilson.
Here.
Senator Bender Wilson, present. Senator Burma. Senator Burma, present. Senator Walker Hoover.
Here.
Senator Walker Hoover, present. Senator Wu. Senator Wu, present. With 41 voting members, a quorum is present.
The minutes from the last Senate meeting were sent out 48 hours prior. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Yeah.
My name is Elizabeth.
Are there any corrections to the minutes? All right, there being none, the minutes stand approved without objection. We will be calling into session committee of the whole to hear a presentation from Amherst on the action referendum to raise the waivable fee to support the UMass Amherst Amherst chapter. So pursuant to Title II, Chapter 31, Section 9, Subsection 1 and 5, when committee of the whole is called into session, parliamentary procedure is suspended and the Senate may not take any official votes or actions. Massberg, you guys are welcome to come up.
Hi everyone, thank you guys so much for giving us the opportunity to speak today. I'm Sanjana, I'm a junior here at Amherst. I got my start with Massberg about 2 years ago as a volunteer for the Save the Bees campaign. I then moved on to become a coordinator for the, oh, is this not on?
Are we good?
Yeah.
So yeah, I started to become a really dedicated volunteer, ended up becoming the coordinator for the Save the Bees campaign for a bit, as well as secretary for our UMass chapter, and am now the chapter chair of Massberg here at UMass Amherst.
I'm Rob. I don't think I really need my opinion, unless it's needed for like. Okay. Like I said, I'm Rob. I'm a senior. I was chair last semester until I stepped down. I was in the position for about a year and a half. Before that, I was a coordinator. Before that, I was a volunteer. I've been with Massberg for 4 years. That is a long, long time, but I've really seen the chapter grow. And the point of this entire presentation is to talk about our funding fee and the way we do so, because as sustainable as it has been hard to stretch the dollar. As it can only go so far. But I'll let Sanjana take back control of the mic.
All right, so for those of you who don't know, Massberg is a student-led, run and funded nonprofit and nonpartisan organization. We actually got our start here at UMass Amherst in 1972, so over 50 years ago, and been going strong ever since. Massberg was created to give students a chance to have their voices heard, have power over their futures, and have a chance to create positive social change. Massberg has helped kind of pave the way for a lot of other organizations and serves as a parent organization for things like Environment America, the New Voters Project, and so much more. And we have eventually expanded into a national coalition, so we have chapters all across the country. And Massberg is really unique in that it is student-funded and run, as Rob mentioned briefly earlier. At UMass Amherst, we've been funded by an $11 waivable fee in every student's tuition since 2005, so it's been a minute since we've had a change, which of course doesn't account for things like inflation, but a little bit more on that later. If you could go to the, so our mission statement, to kind of sum it up, says that students are key in building a better future through social change, and in order to effectively do so, we've been helping organize, mobilize, train, and support students to tackle social and environmental causes that they care about so that they can build a future that works best for them. And that, if you could go to the next slide, aligns with the UMass Amherst mission as well, in that we both work to kind of empower and educate students so that they can create a better future for themselves and for the world. Next, thank you. So the way Massberg kind of works is that each chapter, in an effort to ensure that students are working on issues that most resonate with them, votes on their campaigns each semester, and also elects students from local chapters to represent them on a student board of directors that operates statewide. This state board does a lot of more like administrative and bureaucratic work, including working with our budget and deciding our lead campaign every semester. This semester, it's the Save the Bees campaign. And at UMass Amherst this semester, our campaign mix is Save the Bees, Save the Right Whales, Waste is Out of Fashion, Solar Energy, and the Hunger Free Campus Initiative. If you could go on to the next slide, great. So these are the students currently serving on the state board. I started serving on the board as a member last school year and have now been serving as the board chair. And the board is really, really cool because you get to see how many layers there really are to the work that we do. And I get to work with students from all across the state, learn what's going on in each chapter, and learn about how we can best unite people for a common cause. Next slide, please.
Yeah, but just some statewide results. I'm not going to go too deep into all these because that would be a waste of time, but I do want to highlight that Massburg has championed a lot of key legislation in the past. The strongest recycling legislation is in the state of Massachusetts. And we do have the Massburg students back in the 70s to thank for that, right? The expansion of voting rights, voter engagement, democratic engagement can be attributed to the new voter project, which we helped start and set up. I want to just highlight these three here. These are some of our most recent wins. I do see some senators in the crowd tonight who did help us with this one. $2 million in the Hunger-Free Campus Initiative. That is the bill that we are furthering, arguing, and lobbying for March 12th at the Hunger Lobby Day meeting. That's the one that helps food insecure students with grant programs through universities and colleges, public universities and colleges. Not most recent, but this is a couple years ago, $7 million in a pilot program by the federal government on open educational resources. This has saved over $170 million for students regarding textbooks. Some do the math in terms of like how much more that is, but and our lead campaign, Save the Bees, regards neonicotinoid pesticides. We helped successfully ban the spray version. Companies then found a loophole and just covered the seeds with the pesticide. So now we're trying to take them on with that. Next slide, please. These correlate, and the reason I wanted to highlight the last two is because they're pictured right here, right? The way we do our advocacy is pretty wide in variety. Direct meetings with state officials. This is Representative Minnie Dom of Amherst and a little bit of Pelham. We do peer-to-peer interactions with students, faculty, administrative leaders, student leaders, right? We also engage directly with our community in terms of going out into Western Mass, especially in Amherst, working with, say, Craig Store or the Amherst Knowledge Center. But we also do things that are directly correlated to the media. We had a press conference recently, which also there are some folks here who were also at that, and I thank you. But what I wanted to highlight with this are the stats. Starting since 2022, we have seen an upward trend in the number of campaign actions we've been able to successfully obtain. Petitions, photo petitions, calls to your state senator or state representative, right? Any kind of action done with our campaigns, we've been able to get more and more. The problem is the funding hasn't really changed so much, like Sanjana mentioned. It hasn't been since 2005 that we changed the $11 waivable fee, which, by the way, is completely waivable. As much as the numbers are impressive, they don't tell the whole story. I've been here since 2022. It is harder to make the dollar work more when every year your printing costs go up. Every year some kind of cost regarding staff costs go up. And as much as the staff and the printing and the whatever is great, it really becomes restrictive when our constant battle is with inflation and our constant battles with all the executives, the textbook companies, right? The agrochemical companies, right? It is hard to fight them when the funding isn't there. The funding is the foundation for which we run our programs. Our programs can't be sustained if the funding isn't sustainable as well. And it sustained us pretty well since 2005, when inflation's living $200. So next slide, please. So just a little bit more information for those who don't know. We do educate about the funding and fee structure that Mass students have, but we tend to just mostly focus on it at the beginning of every semester, so here we are. But basically, the way it works is that, like I said, it is waivable. It is per student, per semester. So under student tuition bill, you'll see, ask for it again, there it is, $11. The way it works is that all of the chapters in the state pull their money together and invest in resources as one. It would be hard to, we are the largest Mass students chapter in the state. There are smaller ones, and it's hard for them to get the support they need unless resources are pooled. So the way we do that is we pull them together, invest them as a group, and we get the benefits of each of those resources, whether it be lower printing costs, economies of scale, staff, support staff. But we all benefit from them through this pool of money. Next slide, please. Here's kind of a budget breakdown in terms of where the money goes. 75% in the green goes to professional staff, as you'll see there, lobbyists, advocates, organizers. Support staff, these are kind of a little bit below that. They're about 50% of the cost. Personnel, lawyers, recruitment and retention directors. These are both shared across multiple campuses. So again, part of the reason why we put the money is that we can then hire these people and support them so they can support us. And the last 10% goes to operational and administrative costs, like I said, printing supplies, everything from staples to tape, right? Sanjana will go a little bit more in depth onto the staff in the next slide, but I do want to highlight, it's hard for Congress and for the State House, Beacon Hill, to take us seriously when we demand change. You can imagine how hard it is to do that without professional help. The reason why we hired the staff is not because we're just like, oh, we have all the money, we can just spend it. No, it's because the oil industry is not listening to us. The natural gas industry is not listening to us. The Raw Hill is not listening to us. Pearson isn't listening to us. Chem China isn't listening to us. They are chemical companies aren't listening to us. It is hard to take these guys on in a fair fight. So that's why we hire professional staff. They have years and decades of experience. They know how to work with students. They know how to build programs. They know how to go toe to toe with the very people ruling our planet and creating terrible social change, right? For lack of people. But I'll pass it back to Sanjana. My bad if I got a little passionate there. But that's basically the budget breakdown and the way the fee and fund works.
All right, so this slide highlights some of our staff. Janet is our Mass Pro Executive Director, and in addition to doing a lot of research and legislative advocacy, which helps us ensure that we know what we're doing with our campaigns and combating certain bureaucratic issues, she has helped us, and she's helped inform our voter registration campaigns and zero waste policies, which has been really, really helpful. Deirdre Cummings, our legislative director, actually got her start at UMass Amherst as a student and also organized here as well. And she has worked on our OER funding and the Hunger Free Campus Bill, both of which are very, very prevalent and very, very much causes of concern for students across Massachusetts. Dawn, our political director, also started her work at PERG as a student in California with CalPERG, and is currently our national political strategist for student PERGs. The textbook conference that we recently had, she is the one that helped facilitate a lot of that research so that we can build a better program and work towards a better future. Next slide, please. Leanne Cole is our organizing director. She works really closely with students and our campus organizer, Haley, who's in the back, who's also one of our professional staff. Without them, we wouldn't be able to navigate all the intricacies of being an advocate and also being a student. Lucas Gutterman also got his start here at UMass Amherst and is now serving the student PERGs and working at Capitol Hill, which is really cool. And Joseph Papas, who works with Environment Massachusetts, does a lot of coalition building specifically for our Save the Bees campaign, which is our lead campaign this semester. And I have had the opportunity and privilege to work with a lot of these staff to do both local campaign actions and state level campaign actions. Joseph, for example, helped me conduct some research and prepare for a meeting with the governor's staff that I had a few weeks ago to talk about restricting sale of music. So as you can kind of see, these staff are incredibly, incredibly needed. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of the work that we do. And that applies on both a very small local level and a very large scale state and national level. This is a student testimony, kind of sharing and supporting how much Mass Pro has impacted their life. And then next slide, please. We also have some faculty and coalition testimonies, and these are just a few of the many that we have from community members, coalition members, other advocates, things like that. And next slide, please. This is just kind of a summary of everything. I am sure we can share this with you all later if you'd like to take a chance to review it. And then next slide, please. So basically what we're asking for here today is the chance to be put on the ballot to get reaffirmed. Reaffirmation is a process that we do every 2 to 3 years, and it essentially is a way to ensure that we are continuing to serve students the way that we were intended to, and that students would like to continue supporting us through that waivable fee in everyone's tuition. And again, like Rob and I mentioned a little bit earlier, that waivable fee has been $11 since 2005, and our student board of directors met and decided that it would be a good idea to kind of raise that fee to combat things like inflation and ensure that we're able to deliver the best program that we can. And so we want to raise it to $15, so an increase by $4. And what we were asking is for the chance to be put onto the ballot so that students can be empowered to use the democratic process and vote for us, so that we can continue to work towards building a better future. Thank you guys so much, and feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Yes, I'm so sorry, I can't see your hands.
Is there any concern that Oh, there we go. Is there any concern that raising this funding amount is going to cause more people to opt out of paying the amount altogether?
That's a good question. It's definitely one that we have thought about, like the board of directors. The thing is that MassPreg time and time again has seen an overwhelming amount of student support throughout the years, and we have already begun our education campaign in like letting people know about this fee, explaining why we want to increase it, things like that. We've started this semester. We've talked about it earlier on. Students are very much aware of it and have shown support time and time again. We actually have like pledge petitions for students to sign on to kind of show their support and say like, hey, yes, I see MassPreg, I see what you guys do, I want to support your fee, and you guys deserve to kind of exist. And we have gotten hundreds of signatures in support already. And should we get voted onto the ballot, we'll continue to run a pledge to vote drive to kind of gauge that support moving forward.
One more question.
Yes.
I don't know if you'd be the right person to answer this, but when it comes to opting out of paying this fee, is it an easy process or is it like?
Absolutely. It's literally like you just go to Spire, go to the tuition page, which like you would have to go to every semester to pay your fee regardless. It's literally just clicking a button. That's it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Can we actually get like a slide in the supplemental like folder, please? There's a as a request for the speaker, but I have a separate question. Could you like maybe get into like the why of like increasing it to like from 11 to like 15 as opposed to like 14, 16, 17?
Absolutely. So, like I said, so the fee has been $11 since 2005. To accurately combat for inflation costs, that fee should actually be, I believe, $18.64. However, we, as like the student board of directors, felt that that was a pretty decent jump, to kind of happen really quickly. So we thought $15 was kind of a good middle ground to give us a bit more to further our program and to help pave the way for future increases should we need it.
Let me just add on to that, I'll be quick with this, is we are a nonprofit, we don't just kind of send the cash. The idea is that like we haven't raised the fee in X amount of years, 20 years now. Raising it to 15 means that we won't have to raise it ideally for a good amount of time. It's not like we can say, okay, 15 now, okay, and then next year we'll say like, good, give us like, $20, right? We've been able to make $11 work for a long time. The idea is like we can make 15 work for a long time as well. I know this guy in a suit who had his hand up, I got skipped. Yes.
Excellent presentation, y'all. The work that y'all do is great. Just want to commend you on that. I was actually just curious how many people opt into the fee and how many people opt out of the fee. If you guys know that number, and then if there was like any chance y'all have heard about Minute Fund or starting up a Minute Fund campaign so people can donate for the work that you do.
Yeah, so I actually personally, first of all, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I really appreciate the SGA's support overall. In terms of the minute fund, I can't say I personally know too much about that, but I'd love to kind of look into that or maybe chat with you after. In terms of the percentage that opts into the fee, I'm not sure if it's on the, would you mind going to the previous slide really quick? Is it on there?
A number exists, we can get it out.
Yeah, we
It's just
can,
not
yeah.
in our mind at the moment.
Yeah, but I will say it has definitely typically been a majority of students, and that's why we always feel very confident going into our reaffirmation every 2 to 3 years, and why we have continued to have over 75% of the student population continue to vote yes to keep that fee. So yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, first off, thank you guys so much for the presentation, very detailed. I guess I just had a clarification question. You guys mentioned that like you guys, like your chapter shares the cost of other chapters and you guys are proposing to increase that by $4. That's waivable, of course. And so I guess I was just a little bit curious if you knew any of the other chapters at other universities in Mass are also proposing similar increases.
Yeah, great question. So UMass Amherst is the largest chapter of MassPerk across the state. And of course, that makes sense. UMass Amherst is huge. We are the first chapter that is attempting to have this fee increased. No other chapter has done an increase since 2005, I believe, as well. And if we were to have this increase end up happening, that would kind of pave the way for other chapters to consider it. But one thing to note is that because we do have a lot of shared professional staff and things like that, not every chapter might go about that fee increase in the same way. And because we are like a statewide group, that fee would help every single chapter regardless of which school necessarily increases it.
Some schools are like $9.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
like, they might go up to like 10, 11 and a half, 12. They might not necessarily go up to 14, but we're almost like a pound or test.
Yes.
Okay. So you said you, for one, don't have an answer for how many students are paying the fee at the moment?
Yes, but I can definitely find that information and pass it along.
And then the other,
You pass them.
yeah, it's, I don't know if it's right.
Oh, we got a number, right?
But 6 year is.
We need to have a mic in the song.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Perfect. It fluctuates year to year, but 60 to 70% is the range of students from UMass Amherst who opt into the fee.
Wait, one other clarification. Mike. I looked at the election reports from 2013, 15, 17, 19, and 2024. 2013, 57%, 2015, 68, 2017, 71, 2019, 76, 2024, 79%, and this is without an increase. So it, yeah, that's like the last just over 10 years or so.
Oh wait, I'm so sorry. Haley, go for it.
I might have misunderstood the question. Those percentages are the percentages of people who voted yes in student government elections on MassPerk. So that's the reaffirmation, the referendum that we run every 2 or 3 years. But the percentages I threw out are the percentages of students who opt into the fee semester over semester. So they're two different statistics, but both equally important.
Yeah.
Yes.
My question is why the resolution is either to kill MassPerk or to raise the fee. Why is the resolution not to keep the fee or to raise the fee?
Great question.
Okay, so technically, yes, we as so hypothetical situation, not one I would like to very much entertain, is that the student government either says, no, we're not gonna be the ballot, or yes, we're not gonna be on the ballot, and then the student body votes no, right? That eliminates the funding process, which does not 100% mean we can't run a program. It just means the program itself will be very minuscule in comparison to what it could be. So we would not have the same kind of volunteer program, the same kind of skill training, the same kind of advocacy training that we have. But to the point of why is it raise versus keep, and it's being portrayed as like a raise or kill, it's not. It's I think that to how do I word this? If you're proposing a raise, because that's the main objective of the ballot question. I guess theoretically you could throw out a second question that also is, or would you rather keep it at $11? But having that second question there would almost defeat the purpose of the raise, because we are very much running on deficits year after year, semester after semester. But I hope that answers your question, but I know you have another.
Yeah, so I mean, it's clear that you guys are doing good work, but there are so many other organizations on this campus that are also doing very good work and don't have a fee that students are paying. Why can you not, like, why do you have to get money through this fee rather than like alternative sources of fundraising and such that every other organization does? What's the reason that you have this fee and we should be paying more in it? And I understand it's waivable, but like a lot of students I know for a fact don't even like realize that it is waivable or don't know how to waive it. So yeah, what makes Massburg need this fee in order to fund itself as opposed to other sources of funding?
It's a benefit of a state law, which off the top of my head I do not know the name nor the government code for. It establishes that state public universities and institutions that allow for a master chapter. I may be this wrong, but the state law essentially says that like master chapters can exist on campuses with this fee funding format as long as the student government and the student body vote in favor for it.
So to kind of add to that, Massburg was created by students for students in 1972, and the reason that they put in that fee was because they wanted it to be something that was almost entirely focused on empowering students through both the funding and the advocacy work that we do. We're also a nonprofit organization and are very unique in that we are part of a larger statewide and national coalition. And we have a lot of professional staff that reach much further than I would say a fair amount of groups on our campus do. So while I understand that like other groups on campus might choose to fund themselves through grants or even like through like the RSO funds or whatever, Massburg is very unique in the work that it does and tries to ensure that it serves students in the best way that it can and is continuing to meet kind of like the expectations of what it was set out for. So if students choose like not to pay that fee or to have it, then that would be a good gauge of whether or not we are kind of fulfilling our purpose. Yes.
There's no Senate decorum in right here right now, so I guess this would be a point of clarification, but I'm just gonna like clarify. I'm looking through Massburg on Campus Pulse. They have not submitted a budget since I believe like FY25 and then before that FY17. So they haven't requested for fee funding basically as far back as I can see. And so yeah, that in terms of like clarifying like where they get their funding from. And another point of clarification, I just quickly like crunched the numbers. If we're assuming like 60% of people got the fee at $11, that'd be about $150,000. And then the increase would get it to about 207, I believe, which is about a $55,000 increase over the 25 years. So that's about an increase of about 1.7% per year, which I would imagine be what we're behind on inflation. And I believe there are amendments as well, so to amend the language of the motion.
Yes.
No idea how to use this. There we go. So I have just a couple of questions. With the budget that you have up on the screen, of the support staff and professional staff, which makes up 90% of the budget, are any of the, you might have already said this and I might have missed it, so my apologies if you did. Are any of those students or people on the UMass Amherst campus? And then my second question is, if this fee raise passes, do you expect any of those percentages to change?
Great questions. So to answer your first question, overwhelmingly, like students who are like, you know, actively like going to school and choosing to be part of MassPerg are more classified as volunteers or interns. We do have our campus organizers who are typically usually like fresh out of college. Haley just graduated college last year and is our campus organizer, so this is her actual job. And she is on campus with us every single day. And then we do also offer we do have other job opportunities. So we offer like summer canvassing jobs. We offer like spring break, winter break canvassing jobs, things like that. So there are absolutely like opportunities for students. It's just that in terms of the work that is required in order to be kind of classified as a professional job and also fit into the budget with the minimal fee that we currently have, there is not really capacity for like a full-time student to also serve as like professional stuff. Like I can tell you right now, Haley is 24/7 doing MassPerg work, and like she and all of the other people who do this work are truly doing it like, you know, for the love of the game, because they care about you know, improving students' futures and the rest of the world. And the fee is not a great, like, it's because it's been so low for so long, it doesn't allow us to fully expand our professional staff right now as much as we would like, which is why kind of the increase. And then I'm so sorry, remind me of your second question.
That's okay. My second question was, with the fee, if the fee increase were to pass, would any of those allocations change? So like instead of 75, would it drop down and would more go to a different area? And then I have another clarifying question based off the answer, but I can ask now or I can wait.
I'll just say quickly off the top of my head, I'm not like positive. I know we definitely have like professional staff who've done the research on that, so I can definitely get back to you with like clearer information surrounding that. But this is like, should anything change, it would still be very, very close to the current breakdown.
Okay, and then based off your first question, correct me if I'm misunderstanding, but most of the 90% is being sent to like external organizations to further the, like I know that on there it says like personnel, lawyers, lobbyists, advocates. Those are external groups and individuals who are kind of like lobbying on MassPerg's behalf.
Well, they would still be employed like within MassPerg or any of our like MassPerg, like I mentioned earlier on in the presentation, is kind of like a parent organization for so many other groups. So we are very much part of a coalition, and other groups like Environment America, like Joseph Pappas he technically works for Environment America, but Environment America and the PERGs are very much intertwined. So any of like the staff is definitely like employed by us overall. There are very few times that they wouldn't be kind of like classified within our organization, and that might be a case of like a lawyer for, or like our bank for like holding our money, things like that, but they still very much do work with us.
Yeah, please.
Sorry.
All right, so first of all, thank you for your presentation and for all of the work that you do. I'm glad that you're doing it. I have sort of a quick question, and I think Miles kind of gestured at it, but more specifically, what exactly, how do I phrase this? I mean, I know we talked about like amendments and stuff, but I'm just curious if there's a specific reason why it would be beneficial to have the increase versus the disillusionment of like Perks chapter at UMass. Because from what you're telling me, it's like you're already doing great work, but there's so much more great work that you could be doing. So is this an all or nothing thing? Like I just want to make sure I understand the thought process behind this.
Absolutely. So it isn't an all or nothing thing. It's just that because we very much use our reaffirmation to gauge our our level of student support, we do try to use that fee as an indicator of that support as well. And having the fee continue to remain at $11 at this point would almost, I don't want to say synonymous, but it would kind of be the same thing overall as what would happen if people just voted no. MassPerg, while we definitely do not want to be doing this, could continue to exist on campuses without having being voted on and things like that. And we could get funding from other sources if we had to, but of course that's not how we want to run, and that's not something that we have a lot of precedent for. So we are trying to kind of stick with what works and stay centered around students in terms of further information about that. Off the top of my head, I'm not totally sure, and I can absolutely get back to you with more information after checking with some more of our professional staff. Sorry? Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so just to clarify, so for the no option, that would result in, that would say I as a student or as a voter don't want MassPerg to continue. In relation to keeping it at the $11 and how that would have sort of a similar effect, at least that's what I'm not understanding you're saying, how would that happen? I know you don't have specific numbers, but I'd appreciate more detail. Are you projected to go into a deficit next year and this is necessary? What exactly is happening that would make no increase result in the disillusionment of MassPerg?
You get this one.
Well, we have been running decreases for a bit. I can't remember the exact, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. I can't remember exactly for how long. Sorry, that information can get sent out. But we have been running deficits. And the problem with the maintenance of or maintaining of $11 is that although the theory of the funding is sustainable, because it's through state law, it's through the ability is through the state law, but the execution of it is through the student body. It's like still paying for coffee with 99 cents. You can maybe do it if you found a way, but it's just not the most simple way to do it, because you just keep running deficits. And if you keep running deficits, you gotta cut costs, you gotta cut staff. If we had to cut one of our parts of our legal team, right? That is not good. If we have to cut activists, right? That's not great. You run into staff shortages, and when the staff is short, you can't run a successful program. So the program has to be built up, it has to be executed, it has to be researched on and continued. We don't want to run the risk of, okay, we'll just have the $11, but then at one point, are we finally going to say, is this deficit big enough to say, okay, we need to increase it at some point? That's what the state board said. We'll raise to 15, we've been running enough deficits for so long. We've already had to cut staff in the past, so we would like to undo that by hiring more staff, hiring more organizers to be with students directly, to communicate with them and help them run the program. But the $11 is just not keeping up with the cost of inflation and it's eating into our ability to run successfully.
And also just to, sorry, just 1 second. To add to that, that fee has been $11 for a very long time now, and we have already like passed the point of needing to increase that fee. And again, $15 is still not that much in consideration of like how much we would actually need in order to counteract inflation. So now we're at the point of like, if not now, when? And we've been kind of saying that for a while, and so this is the time we truly just want to have that increase so that we can work towards ensuring that our program is getting stronger and doesn't continue to kind of go into deficit. Because like after this year, like if we did continue to have that $11 fee, I'm not sure how much it would really be able to do at this point. And to add to that, in terms of like the if people vote no kind of thing, like that would be a conversation that we would have a little bit more after to see how our chapter of Massford and even like chapters across the state wanted to kind of continue to work, or if we did or didn't. But again, at the end of the day, this was an organization created by students for students. So if there really isn't that support, then that is something that we need to take into consideration. Yes.
Hello, so just like to clarify something, the motion states that you'll be removed if people vote no. And so you keep talking about how it's not sustainable for you to keep running with an $11 budget. But I mean, you wouldn't be because your chapter would be removed. So I really don't think that this is a motion that I'd recommend passing, because you know, I don't think it's gonna get voted no on, but on the off chance it does, then, you know, you guys say you're gonna dissolve the chapter and will cease to exist. So I really, you know, I'm confused on that, because you talk about keep running it, but the motion states that it will be removed, you know?
Yeah, no, I completely understand where you're coming from. We are just at the point with our fee, like the amount and inflation and things like that, where we're already like sacrificing parts of our program in order to be able to stay on budget, and we're not. We're almost like doing a disservice to students. So should that like increase not be voted yes on, at that point, that $11 fee, it wouldn't really be doing much at all, and have like continuing the program after that, after this year with the $11 just would be completely doing a disservice to students and everyone who participates in this program. And because we are a national coalition and we do have our organization operating on all sorts of levels, not just schools, it's not that our organization or anything would shut down. It just means that maybe we would have to close off this chapter, which isn't something that happens very often whatsoever. And like these numbers and percentages are not unfounded, and we wouldn't even be conducting a referendum in the first place if we didn't have like precedent for student support.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just still, the language is very vague, and it hasn't been clarified. It's like you haven't given an answer of will the chapters like end? Like
We've adhered to the will of the students since the 70s, right? 70s. So if they, okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay, sorry. We strongly believe in the democratic process of letting the students vote on the ballot. So if they don't support the fee that funds us, they don't support the foundation of the program, then then they can vote no. Yeah, the chapter would.
It's a yes or no. I'm sorry, but like
No, the chapter would cease to exist on this chapter.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, and then I guess white shirt, gray hoodie. I'm sorry, green, gray, blue. Over there, longer hair guy, and then guy in the front. Sorry. Yeah.
Wait, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's on. I'm so sorry. I just, you clarified a bit of what I had to say with Senator Kennedy's question. But I just wanted to ask, have you guys considered the fact that a lot of students are currently in a financial position where they not, like, as much as they want to support this increase, they might not have the means to. So now, if you're saying that you're going to close this chapter if this motion gets voted on as a no, then you're just completely cutting out a service to students that is important. I mean, I don't know if I'm making perfect sense, but I feel like this is a very extremist, way of going about this. It's either we're currently in a situation where this just might not be, I understand that it's not perfectly feasible for you guys too, but there are other means to fund this program as previously discussed and as other senators and executive members, etc., have stated in this meeting. So why go straight? I understand that it's the fee is coming from the students. That means the students support you. But what if they just cannot? They don't have the means to. It's not that they don't want to.
Totally valid question. It's just, I'm really sorry, yes, we understand that, of course, it is, if you don't have the financial means to support the fee, then by all means, don't, right? We try our best to educate the student body that it is totally waivable, right? And even if you do waive the fee, we are still kind of, fight in your favor. I'm trying to remember, the second part of the question. Oh, yes, the reason why we worded this way and the reason why this is kind of in the process is, to be quite honest, a lot of this precedent, it's just been the way every 2 to 3 years, or I'm not great at math, how many years it's been. A lot of it relies on the precedent and the way we just have been doing this for the last 70 years, I guess, right? Yeah, 50 years. That's kind of the best answer I can give to you right now. I'll see if something I can do.
And also to kind of clarify, there is a difference between students saying, no, we don't want MassPerg to continue with that waivable fee and then shutting down, versus students voting, yes, we want MassPerg to have the option of getting funded with the waivable fee and then getting voted to continue existing and then having students waive that fee. Having our chapter continue and having, say, an increased amount of students as you're proposing, waiving out, opting out of that fee would not be the same thing as our chapter entirely shutting down, because we do have other chapters across the state that are also being funded by that waivable fee. And again, we are part of a larger organization, so that doesn't mean that our program would stop should more people want to support MassPerg but not be able to pay the fee.
Okay, that is not what the motion says. The context of what you've put does not reflect what you're currently saying, and I think that's where a lot of us are very confused.
Okay, could we maybe get the wording of could we get the question up here? Okay, I do believe that the two options do, in fact, to the best of my knowledge, reflect what we are saying. If someone chose to vote yes, that would mean that they support the fee increase and the waivable fee and the continued existence of MassPerg. It does not mean that they would actually have to pay that fee. if they don't want to support that fee increase and thus not support the continued existence of Massburg, then that is equivalent to them being like kind of wanting our chapter to not exist. And it's not necessarily like the same thing. I think Haley wanted to add something. If that's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try my best to word this correctly. So, yeah, you're right in thinking that, so if the majority of the vote says no, we will cease to exist on this campus. If the majority of the vote says yes, the fee will be $15. Again, I just want to emphasize it's waivable, and if people want to support us but can't, that's why it's waivable, so you can opt out of that. Like something I said earlier, it is a cliff in Spire. And yeah, so at the end of the day, no, if the majority is no, we're gone. If the majority is yes, the fee is $15, and each student individually can make that decision themselves to waive, to opt in or out of it.
Let's do 2 more questions. We have to move on to other stuff too, so. Yeah, sure.
I just want to clarify that the referendum question is whether or not the student body supports it, and it's still up to the board of trustees to actually raise the fee. Thanks.
Okay, we can take 2 more questions. Yes.
So I just have a clarifying question, kind of similar to what I had asked earlier. The executive director of Massburg made $91,000 last year. Is money from the fee that students are paying going to pay her salary? It says she worked an average of 20 hours a week and made over $90,000. Is money from the fee going to that salary?
Off the top of my Janet, yeah. I will say one thing. I don't believe the entirety of her salary is from this, but I also, I will say I don't know off the top of my head, and I can get like a breakdown of the costs if that would be helpful.
Yeah, if that's readily available, that would be helpful just to see, what percentage or what dollar amount of this fee is paying for her salary. Just out of curiosity, but
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
I just had a quick question, obviously, about like the pie chart. So if the entirety of everything that you get from the fee is going towards paying people's salaries, then what's affecting students?
So without the research, the administrative and legal work that our staff does, there genuinely would just not, we wouldn't have the resources that we do have in order to ensure that our program exists. So as an example, for our affordable textbooks or OER campaign, we are working towards adding funds to a program to ensure that public colleges and universities are able to better support their students and work on lowering textbook costs, or at least not making them as large and required as they are. And the person headlining that research and helping us conduct it and carry it out and bringing professional experience to it and helping us ensure that that program even exists in the first place would be Dawn, and who's part of our professional staff. Another example is the Amherst survival pantry that got established onto campus last semester. If we didn't have professional staff helping us conduct research and get that research from all across the state, and kind of break down legal matters, help us understand what costs we kind of need to work towards this bill, then we wouldn't have been able to get the grant that we did to then establish that food pantry on campus. So there are those are just like two examples of ways that they're affecting students and reaching students. But and like I understand that it might seem a little indirect, but I can like tell you that without the research and the work and navigating all of these like legal and professional matters, which can be incredibly intricate when you're in an organization like this, and a nonprofit, it's just not something that is sustainable as like a full-time student and an advocate. So we do require that professional staff to help us create tangible change that reaches college students and other communities.
Okay, that'll be our last question. We still have other committee of the whole business to get to before we even get to voting, so I want to keep us moving forward, but we will vote on the actual ballot item in the new business section, so after our appointments and after unfinished business. Yep.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Again, just to clarify, this isn't a vote to raise it from 11 to 15. This is just to put it onto the agenda or onto the ballot, for the SGA Spring 2026 election. Us voting won't change any numbers. It won't be sent to the Board of Trustees, as Gianna mentioned. This is just to put it on the ballot and give the 24,000 strong student body a chance to vote on it, yes or no, based on what is presented to them and stewarded by the SGA.
Yes. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Next up, Chair Trong has a presentation about the SATF ballot question that's going up in the same referendum section.
All right, I'm gonna try to keep this under 10 minutes, all right? Start the clock. All right, guys, as you're aware, we raised the fee by 7.5% or $21 per academic year about 2 weeks ago. However, there are additional options going up on the ballot, and that was presented in this presentation. This is just a quick recap of what the SATF is. Breakdown of our current finances. Okay, so the question is, what are we students expecting from the SATF? So last year we had cuts about 50% for agencies, as we've gone over this, 70% for RSOs, startups about 90% reduction cut from last year, and then DF fund is down to 100,000, down from 150,000, as well as SGA payroll, and the DF fund or the multicultural night is being pulled as well from the DF fund, which traditionally is through the SGA. And so some of the challenges we have is for next year, we have that less than $66,000 if we were to not raise the fee at all. And so we've already raised the fee, but this is break down the challenges. The mandatory salaries has increased from $1 million to $2.5 million, and we are mandated to cover those costs. And then this is just our fee with inflation. Same thing as 2 weeks ago. Again, this is a breakdown from the consultant report. Basically just says that compared to our peer institutions, our fee is less than our peer institutions. Okay, so this is the potential SATF increase options that have been put on the ballot. And so option A will be if the ballot option fails. So if the ballot option fails, this is what the allocations are looking like. Again, next slide will have a more detailed breakdown. Option B, C, and D are respectively will be $18 per semester increase, a $25 per semester increase, and a $30 per semester increase. Okay, next slide. All right, so I think this is like the last slide presentation. And so basically what happens if the ballot fails, this ballot, the option A is where we are right now after raising the fee 7.5% 2 weeks ago. Okay, so if the ballot, any of these ballot measures fail, if none of them pass, that means we're not going to have any money for spring concert. It means RSOs are taking a upwards of $200,000 cut to their allocations for next year for allocations. It means emergency funding is staying at $5,000, and the agency emergency funding is getting $1,000. For capital improvement, there'll be $4,000, which means if we want to, for example, on the SGA side, like for example, buy more RSO lockers to support RSOs, or for agencies to upgrade like outdated equipment. We'll have very limited funds to support them. And then we'll be allocating the minimum amount, $171,000, which is 3% of the SATF starting balance. That is what SACO recommends for us to put into our long-term reserves. I will note right now we are about $260,000, and so it is in our best interest for fiscal responsibility to get that long-term reserve number up, because if something comes up unanticipated, we need to be able to cover it. Okay. The SGA, as you guys know, we're operating on reduced working hours for, at least I know on the legislative side. And then for multicultural night, we pulled that, what's traditionally been funded through the SGA budget, through DIA. And so that means that there's less funding for RSOs through DIA because of these budget cuts. So an $18 per semester increase means we get to fund spring concert at $250,000. We have a partial restoration, so we have $15,000 for RSO emergency funding, $5,000 for agency emergency funding, and for capital improvement we have $8,000, and then we will be able to allocate slightly more for our long-term reserves. DIA will stay at $100,000, and the SGA will be able to have a partial restoration of our work hours and a full restoration of our multicultural night, which will help with cultural RSOs who typically request from the DIA fund. For a $25 per semester increase, again, spend contracts the same, we'll be able to increase our RSO funding pool by $13,000 for the general pool. For emergency funding, we'll be able to increase that from $5,000 this year up to $73,000 for next year. And then for agency emergency funding, we'll be able to have that at $60,000, with capital improvement at $50,000, and long-term reserves at $138,000. For DIA, we'll be able to increase funding by an additional $25,000, and then for the SGA, increase by an additional $5,000, which will hopefully get us full restoration of all our work hours and all of DIA, and to combat inflation as well. And then the $30 per semester increase, that would get us $63,000 towards the general pool for RSOs, $100,000 for RSO emergency funding, so almost a full restoration to the $125,000 from FY25, and then $50,000 for emergency funding, agency emergency funding, alongside the capital improvement at $75,000, and long-term reserves at $163,000. DIA will be at $125,000, and then the SGA will remain at $270,000. So these are the options on the ballot. I urge everybody here not only to think, but also to reach out to all your friends and all your RSOs and ask them, what is their SATFE worth to them? Because this is what's going to be on the ballot, and it's really important whether or not passed or not, because these are the effects that will occur based on the ballot measures. Does anyone have any questions?
I'm going first. Sorry, Will. I'm sorry, I'm going to call you out. I'm looking at a lot of heads down. I'm looking at a lot of games. You should be looking at the screen. RSO funding is probably the most important thing that this body does. And this is a breakdown that Darren worked extremely hard on. He crunched these numbers to decide whether or not we're going to decide what we're putting on the ballot so we can have power over how much more funding our RSOs can get. This is the #1 complaint of this student body, and you should not be playing games. You should have a picture of this in your phone for when your constituents ask. Thank you.
Can we get a mic to Charles Walker, please?
Thank you, Chair Trong, for this presentation, very thorough. But I really did have a question because last spring we raised the SATF by $13, I believe. And so I just wanted to know if we were going to include that along with the $10.50 that was raised 2 weeks ago.
So to clarify, the reason we raised it last year was because we had a projected deficit of $500,000. And so if we did not increase it, there's a very likelihood that we may have had potentially upwards of 90% budget cuts on RSOs and higher than 50% for agencies, and potentially deplete entirely our long-term reserves. And so that was the reason we raised it last year. And the reason we raised it 2 weeks ago was because All these effects here for option A, like the ballot fails, that looks bad, that is after we have increased it 2 weeks ago. And so if we don't get any of these ballot options, option A is what happens after raising it for the spring semester. So that's why I urge everyone in this room to please reach out to all your friends, really think about this deeply, reach out to RSOs. My job is to give impartial information to the Senate. And so you guys, it's your job to decide, is it worth, voting on this? Because what we vote does have, actions and consequences. So
I guess my real question is, can we get some type of tracker on this? Because we raised the fee, which, is cool and dandy, but can we have some type of record of, we raised it in 25, we raised it in 26. Can we just get some type of history, some context to where the fee is going, how we're raising it? I don't want the students to, keep raising and raising and raising, and then, 10 years go by and, we've raised it so much that, we don't remember where we actually started raising it from. So I guess that's really my question.
yeah, I'm happy to clarify. So on the previous presentations, there has been like a slide with the traditional history of the SATF. The reason why that's not included in this slide is because I had like maybe 2-3 hours today to pull it together. And obviously with the limited time that we have here today, I wanted to keep the presentation as concise as possible. However, to answer your question, we have records of whenever the SATF record has increased. I have those records. Jane Cole and Cycle Finance has those records. JD has those records. Michelle, our SATF advisor.
Can we get those to the students? Can we get those records to the students?
Yes, I can pull that for you and I can get that to you.
Also, I just wanted to clarify that we are not voting to put this on the ballot. The president has the authority to place questions on the ballot, and that's what's happening in this case. So this is purely just for your information to pass along your constituents. This is going to show up on the ballot. Like it's already decided that this will be on the ballot. This is just so you guys know what the consequences of each vote are. So.
Yeah, I'd also just like to point out that although it's never a good thing to raise the amount of money the students have to pay, the amount of RSOs consistently has gone up. The amount of money those RSOs need has consistently gone up, and the number of this student body has consistently gone up with it. So although it is important to realize how much we are raising it by, we are doing this because the things we fund are growing with it. So really, as the inflation tracker pointed out, by not raising it, the number available to the student body shrinks every year.
Is this in the materials today? Okay,
It's in the supplemental.
great, thank you.
Needed for,
This is just, for clarification, so I guess a point of clarification. Our records are public. Anyone in the student body has free access to these records at all times. It's not like we're doing anything to actively keep it from students. They're present and open and available for them to see the changes in the SATF fund whenever they please. So it's already in the hands of students. It always has been.
Is it accessible?
Yes, all our records are extremely accessible. If you either step into the office, go on our website.
yeah, so, yeah, I'm the public records officer as associate speaker. So if you want any SGA records, you can email me and I can send that over to you. We have a form that I believe is on the website to request records, or you can just come talk to me. Just direct those questions to me if you want any records. Thanks.
Yeah, I'd like to quickly add on, this information was compiled like today, obviously, but this information will be presented at the mandatory RSO budget meeting next Tuesday. And so I guess I'll just talk about part of the ad hoc funding process, but as I've been meeting with RSOs over the past week or so, probably about close to 30 or 40 RSOs over the past couple of weeks, and I described the new funding process. One of the main constraints that they've mentioned is the budget caps that we will be implementing to how much RSOs can request for the fiscal year. And so what that cap stays at or switches to next year is also dependent on how much money we have in the general allocation pool. And so I just like to add that in for clarification.
No. Is there going to be any social media promotional content for this bill and education? Because the vast majority of people aren't going to go into the records. They're going to take what's presented directly to them.
Yeah, thank you for that question. That information, the request for the flyer, was already put in a couple of days ago, or even like last week with Sophia. So we're finalizing that like flyer information to get it out before the election. So in terms of outreach methods, we'll have on Instagram, we'll have the mandatory budget training on Tuesday, we'll have campus pulse relays, which goes to every single RSO board members. And I can also work with Chair Kim so we can get a newsletter out to the entire campus community as well. And so those are like the outreach methods that we have used or are planning on using for this election cycle.
Yeah, quick question. So will those options and the like effects specifically be on the ballot as well? I feel like that might be helpful for students because I understand that records are public, but like some students might not know how to look through a bunch of minutes and look at the number of the raises or like how much we're talking about it. I feel like if we're not gonna all put it in one place, like if these options with the specific effects are on the ballot, I don't know if that's a possibility, but I think that would also help students understand the scope of why this is even being like debated or talked about.
Yeah, definitely. I know the 18, 25, and 30 are on the ballot, obviously. I believe President Borowski I can defer to him on that, but it's been submitted, so I don't know if we can I think you can resubmit it because we still have time for the election. I'll let President Borowski clarify.
I also have another question also. So it's per semester? This is to vote per semester. Have we done that before?
So yeah, to clarify, we're not voting on anything. This
Well, yeah.
is a presentation that I'm giving to everybody here because this is what is being added to the ballot by the Office of the President. And so traditionally in the past, like marketing, we've done like the percentage or like the per year, but we found part of our like marketing strategy, I guess, is like we want to make it hopefully more concise for students so that they can, I guess, more visualize it like per semester rather than like a percentage, which is kind of like arbitrary.
Yeah, I can touch a little bit on the language that will be going in. I'm sure if it was an emergency, we could definitely change it, but right now, it's a lot of the same language from last year with the things included, like we have revised our funding system, and in order for this funding system to remain healthy and RSOs to avoid further budget deficits, I mean, this isn't the exact wording. I can forward this to the entirety of the Senate after the meeting, as it is right now. But yes, it does touch on the new systems and what will happen if this doesn't passes, although it does not include this specific verbiage, as most of the other ballot referendums and votes are like a solid 90% less words than this. And I fear that by just including too much information, people will clock out. So there is an abbreviated version of the information on screen.
Hello. Point of clarification, I think what we're speaking to is financial
outreach, which I do know that we have a subcommittee for under the financial policy reform subcommittee. We can add clearer timeline of SATF increase as part of our financial outreach, maybe tweaking the website a little to reflect that if that's what people are interested in. That's it.
Are there any further questions? All right, perfect. Thanks, Aaron. We have one more presentation for Committee of the Whole, just about Student advisory boards and SAB attendance. That'll be presented by Vice President Nalibo.
Okay, we're gonna start with SABs. We're gonna go that one. Okay. As you can see reflected on this at the bottom here, what is that? Row 9 through 11. Some of these meetings have already started, and we are getting angry emails from the vice chancellors that you're not showing up. So, looks really bad on the organization, number one. Number two, they name drop you directly. So it looks really bad on you. There are some open seats that we need to fill. And you also need to look at your name and then look at those dates. And if you cannot attend those meetings, you need to give up your seat now. Okay, we're going to start with the admin finance SAB, which I have one open seat on. And currently, Undersecretary of DI and Vita is serving on it. Senator Alex Kennedy, Senator Chair Swirsky, Senator Schuette, and Trustee Marino. The next meeting is March 17th, and the final meeting, or the meeting after that, is April 21st. I believe there's one more meeting after that in May. Valid. They might redo it towards that. Yes. Okay, I think your name's on their agenda, so I'm not sure why they're not sending you information. Okay, write those times down now, and we'll follow up with admin finance. Their chief of staff should have you on their email. There's an open seat, so somebody needs to sit on it. Tuesdays from 2 to 3. Hold up your name placard. Thank you, Chair Hood. The athletics SAB, there's 2 open seats. I'm taking Secretary Hogan's spot. This meets tomorrow at 2 p.m. and they run from 2 to 3. If you have questions for Ryan Bamford, here's your time. Yeah. They might move it. They're on Zoom. There's 2 open seats, and Secretary Stanley can't attend tomorrow. So if you just want to fill in for tomorrow, you can take that seat too. Secretary Nalibo. An hour. Do you want the seat or no? No? Okay. There's still 2 open seats. I'm not wielding my time back to the chair until you do it. There's no one in the entire body who's available for an hour once a month. I find that a little hard to believe. Two to 3. That's Thursday. Thursday, February 26th, which is tomorrow. It's okay if you can't do the one tomorrow, but next month, is that also Thursday? April on a Friday and March on a what? Thursday. Any two senators.
This is 1 hour, once a month. You sit in a room with admin, and if you have something to bring up, you bring it up with them. And if you don't, they'll let you know what they're working on, and then you report it back here. 1 hour, once a month.
Senator Burma. There's one more open seat. Can someone who can make the entire meeting please volunteer?
That's a question.
Yeah.
Are they all at 2 p.m.?
What do you mean?
Like, is every single spot at 2 p.m.?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I have class during then.
Is everyone listed under DI able to make that meeting? No. Senator Siegel would like to give up their seat. Trustee Maria?
I'm not gonna be able to make it to the admin meetings. I have class this semester at that time.
For the admin finance?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's one more open seat on admin finance. Can we go back to that time? Tuesdays, 2 to 3. Chair Shaw. Athletics. 1, really 2 open seats. And DI. Can you move to the DI one? Sorry, what's your name? I can't see your name placard all the way in the back. I can't see it.
Justin.
Senator Morales Aquino, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
IT, can everybody listed there make those meetings this semester? Okay, does anybody want to serve on IT? One of the meetings already happened. Senator Walker Hoover? Huh?
Not on IT, the DI one, I made the first meeting of the year, I can continue to make the meetings.
Oh, okay.
But I can't make SAC.
You can't make SACL.
I can't make SAC, but I can make the,
Okay.
I'll start with Charles. Cool job.
Can you communicate with Secretary Carroll and confirm that he's able to make those meetings, but if not, you can have his spot? Thank you. Okay, so move to IT. And then can you scroll down so we can see those meeting times? Tuesdays from 1 to 2, the IT department. If you have problems with Edgerome, it's your time. Rules. So there's 2 open spots in IT. On Tuesdays from 1 to 2. Tajwani. Senator Tajwani. Thank you. So there's one more spot. One more spot, Tuesdays from 1 to 2, once a month. You don't have to talk, you just have to sit there. Okay, looking at SACL. So Senator Walker Hoover, are you giving your seat away?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's 2 open seats on SACL. The next meeting's Tuesday at 3 p.m. and then scroll down. 1 sec. And then that's it? Just April? Or sorry, a Monday at 10 a.m. and a Tuesday at 3 p.m. I will note that that Monday is the Monday after spring break. So if you're coming back from spring break late, you can't make that meeting. Senator Siegel? Senator Schuette?
I just have a question about that one. Is the meeting on Monday is in person?
Looks like Zoom. Doesn't look like they have a space booked.
No, it'll be in the.
In person. Shoot stuff.
I would assume so. It was rescheduled. This is supposed to be over spring break.
Oh, okay. There's no space listed because originally it was on St. Patrick's Day over spring break, and I emailed back and said that was not a good day. So now it's moved. I don't think they have a space yet, but it will likely be in person. Most of theirs are. Senator Martos, Martos. SACL. Thank you. University Relations, you put Secretary Budasova, and then there's, okay, so Senator Olivo's resigning that seat, and then, yes, Secretary Stanley? You'll fill the seat on University Relations? And then Senator Chaparro, who I believe is attended the meeting today? Okay, thank you. So there's still an open seat on IT, which is Tuesdays at 1 p.m. from 1 to 2. Via Zoom, they meet virtually. And then, sorry, is there a vacancy in DEI? Okay. Vacancy on the Athletics Council, vacancy or SAB, pardon me, and vacancy in the IT SAB. Athletics, Thursday, Friday, 2 p.m. to 3. Two vacancies. Guys, we have so much business to attend to. Please, someone just take the damn spot. Which one? Thursday, Friday, yeah. Speaker Dwivedi, thank you. No. Okay, so there's only one vacancy left in IT. Two Tuesdays. March and April from 1 to 2. Thank you, Senator Kennedy. Thanks.
The Senate will be in order and the committee of the whole previously called into session stands adjourned. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Motion to, after the special orders. All right. The Senate will now consider S61, a motion to appoint Sophie Wagner to the position of Associate Justice. This is sponsored by Chair Dami. Yeah, Senator Siegel.
Motion to block vote all of the Associate Justice appointment.
Motion to block vote S61 to S64, which is the Associate Justice appointments, has been called. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Those in favor of block voting, say aye.
Aye.
opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. All right, the ayes have it. We will now consider S61, S62, S63, and S64 on block. Those are motions to appoint Sophie Wagner, Sophia McDonough, Max Siegel, and Maggie Haven to the positions of Associate Justice, sponsored by Chair Dami. The sponsorship is recognized for a brief factual description.
Hi guys, these just went through AA. Chief Justice Isabella Klink appointed them. President Borowski sent them to AA. They all had their application materials. They all had a written statement saying that they were not discriminated against in the hiring process. Everything was done within conduct, so yeah, all good. Yield my time, Chief Justice.
Yeah, I don't have much more to say off of that. All of them went through that process, just like you said. They're all here for if any of the senators have any questions for them, they can come up and answer those. But yeah, other than that, it was a smooth process and there's not much else to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? All right. Is there a second for S61 through S64?
Second.
All right. Does there exist a need for debate on S61 through S64? With no indication of a need for debate, the motion is called and the question is on the passage of S61 through S64. Motions to appoint Sophie Wagner, Sophia McDonough, Max Siegel, and Maggie Haven to the positions of Associate Justice. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it and the special orders are passed. Will the newly appointed Associate Justices please rise? Please repeat after me. I do affirm to faithfully execute the office of Student Judiciary Justice and support the Constitution and bylaws of the Student Government Association. Congratulations. All right, we'll keep it moving. The Senate will now consider S65, a motion to appoint Jemiah Fernandez to the position of treasurer. This is again sponsored by Chair Dami. The sponsorship is recognized for a factual description.
Again, President Borowski sent this to me through AA. AA reviewed the application materials, got a written statement that there was no discrimination in the hiring process, and I'll yield my time to President Borowski.
Thank you very much. So yes, Jemiah is the treasurer of the Cape Verdean Students Association, a previous office manager in the SGA. We didn't go with the traditional hiring process for this because we already had a great pick and we knew he was very, very solid in his talents. So he is being appointed to the position of treasurer. If anybody has any questions about him, I would encourage you to do that now, but I can very much vouch for him and say that he is very well equipped for the job.
Chair Mello, you're recognized.
Hi, could you explain the hiring process that you chose for this position?
Yes, so because Dale Leone, the former Secretary of Finance, graduated out of the position, the treasurer, Hamna, moved into the position of Secretary of Finance, and with that, because everybody's moving up the peg, the bottom one remains empty, and because we already knew Jemiah from his past experience with the SGA, we figured we would forgo the traditional hiring processes. We already had a number of those going simultaneously, and we figured that this was somebody we trust, who is responsible, and has consistently been showing up to meetings. So instead of opening applications when we really only had one person in mind, we just went with that anyways, which is bylaw compliant.
A brief point, I guess, I don't know if it's clarification. I will note that I've also worked with Jemiah previously in the past. Last year, he's expressed interest for Finance Subcommittee in Ways and Means. And he's, I think, applied twice previously for the Finance Subcommittee chair role and does have, I believe, experience in the financial background to carry out this position as treasurer.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions? Is there a second for the special order?
Second.
Does there exist a need for debate? With no indication of a need for debate, special order is called. The question is on the passage of S65, motion to appoint Jemiah Fernandez to the position of treasurer. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it and the motion is passed. Congratulations. The Senate will now consider S66, a motion to appoint Hamna Mustafa to the position of Secretary of Finance. Again, sponsored by Chair Dami. The sponsorship is recognized for a factual description.
All right, I'll keep this super quick because I basically just said it. Amna has been the treasurer for most of the year. She's been doing a very wonderful job. I'm very, very impressed with the talent she's brought to this organization so far. And considering that she can serve under the supervision of the Secretary of Finance, I figured who else is more fitting for this role than somebody who has proven themselves to be very, very smart at our finances. So any questions would be welcome, but that's all I got.
Any questions? Is there a second for the special order?
Second.
Does there exist a need for debate? With no indication of a need for debate, the motion is called and the question is on the passage of S66, a motion to appoint Hamna Mustafa to the position of Secretary of Finance. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it and the motion is passed. I now invite up the Chief Justice to swear in the new secretary.
And then if you'll please rise, thank you. And just repeat after me. I do affirm to faithfully execute the office of Executive Cabinet Member and support the Constitution and bylaws of the Student Government Association. Great, thank you, congratulations.
That concludes the special orders. Moving on to unfinished business, we had tabled one motion from our previous meeting. The Senate will now consider S59, a motion to fund the National Pan-Hellenic Council at $5,000 from the DIA Fund, sponsored by President Borowski. The sponsorship is recognized for a factual description. The group is also welcome to come up.
So this was reviewed favorably by the DIA committee. The one thing you might notice is that it is at $5,000, yet it is being reviewed by the Senate. That is because we are upholding precedents set by the Arab Cultural Association and Student Government Association, where there was some mismatching between the guidelines and forms submitted, where there wasn't really a lot of clarity on what needed to be submitted. And because I believe in giving the grace to all student groups, we are giving them the same opportunity that we have given ourselves and the Arab Cultural Association, which is the reason they are presenting here tonight. And with that, I will look forward to you.
Hello, everyone. You guys hear me? Hello? All right. Hi, perfect. So I am Hensley Rumford, the president of National Pan-Hellenic Council. We have a lip sync battle event coming up in the Soul Fest week this year in the April. So first, what is National Pan-Hellenic Council? It is kind of the umbrella for all the Divine Nine or historically black fraternities and sororities here at UMass and also nationwide. And our purpose is for scholarship, service, leadership, and community. So the overall program overview of our event is that we are becoming more active on campus with more chapters being active here at UMass. So we wanted to bring an event to just celebrate the fact that we are more active and that there is this event hasn't been done with our organization before. So we basically wanted to have a event that just showcases and allows students to come and pretend to be there, whatever celebrity they want to be, do a lip sync, quick 4 or 5 minute performance for each student, and 2 rounds, then they win the lip sync battle. Just bragging rights, really, but yeah. So we're currently making flyers and hope to broadcast this event once we have everything set in stone. And so that goes with our Instagram. We'll hope to get flyers up on the monitors and throughout the student union and just printing flyers around this campus. And then this aligns with UMass's mission of just the commitment to equity and adding inclusion. And we want to focus on just centering around Black artistry, and then just also representation on not just the student body, but also our organization as well, just so that we can get some more information to the students that don't know too much about our organization. So the overall budget overview that we came up with as an e-board, we wanted to incorporate a DJ, videographer, photographer, and then also the UMass needed things that we need to host a larger scale event that's not just general body meeting, so EMS, all the production and stuff like that. And we can go into like the invoices that were asked to provide from us. So we have our DJ, videographer, and photographer invoices here that can also, this is with the SGA, but also can be sent with the actual PDF that sent out as well. And then we also have the invoice for our cost, and then just like for the actual presentation of the performance, and then also the what we plan on for our, I talked about this a little last week with WB Mason with snacks and waters, just so that we can have concession and stuff for our performers that are going to be at our event, and also anybody who would like to come, just quick small snacks. And so lastly, we hope to, well, we're in the motion of currently finishing up planning, and with the approval of the DFM, we would be able to actually get things in motion and actually get this event started for the student body. And that is all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Other questions? Senator Walker Hoover, go ahead. Can we get a mic? Can we get that mic passed out?
Thank you, President, for your great presentation. Could you talk to us about the community service that the NPHC does? I mean, I'm not sure people are really familiar with the service that you guys provide, not just to the Western Mass, but to the UMass campus.
Yeah, of course. So the National Pan-Hellenic Council, just our more known event on the UMass's campus was our NPHC Moves. So in the beginning of the semester, the fall semester, I should say, we had we went around Southwest, Oak Hill, honestly, anybody who needed help during the unassisted movement days, we came as a group. So all the organizations that we encompass our organization, we came together, we went, I forgot how long it was, but we were there majority of the day, just helping students around campus, help move in their families. This was, our main community service at the fall semester. And then we also, at the end of the semester, not on UMass, but we went out to Springfield to help out. I forgot the specific place's name, but we went to help out with Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving time. So packaging, like little meals and stuff like that, so that we could give out to the Springfield community. This specific semester, we hope to do some fundraising and also other MPHC moves again, but during the end of the semester, so that we can help people move out of campus. And we have more coming, but we're mainly focusing on our event.
Thank you.
Carmelo?
Hi, I was curious if you could talk a little bit about the process behind choosing the photographer that you went with.
Yes, so we chose James Carroll right here. He's very close with us in we know him. He has worked with organizations here on campus before. Peach Pageant, we just had him for Peach Pageant. I was just presenting for HASA again as well. Just overall, he's worked with us, not us specifically, but the community and other organizations, and we got a good rep, James, and so we decided to go with him on that.
Chair Mello, you have a follow-up?
Yeah, thank you for that. I was curious, do you know if he's a UMass approved vendor? I don't know if you could answer this as well, either of you? Because I believe there are rules about what vendors can be used for this kind of money allocation.
Yeah. No, I'm not a UMass vendor, but I am getting approval from the director in Greek Life to be a content creator for the school. But to answer your question, no, I'm not a vendor. But that money that's allocated towards what the DIA fund is going towards, right? It could either come from, you could see it inside of the invoice, if it's going to come from DIA or not. They're just, if they need to pay me, like there's different payment methods that I come with. So whether or not it's from UMass or if it's a personal thing or whatever the case may be, that's what that looks like. But they just came to me for an invoice, and this is what my charge is. Thank you.
Senator Chaparro.
Hey, thank you for your presentation. This is kind of a similar question, but can you walk me through the process of how you chose the videographer vendor?
Yes, so it's very similar process with other organizations here on campus. I'm a part of several. ASA, African Student Association, just used Shot by Shark in their big fall event, Afro Ball. He came without a good turnout on time. The video was sent like very crisp, nice. And the other videographer that we have been using in the past, we've been running with issues with in the past. So yeah, so just wanted to the safe option.
Follow up? Go ahead.
I was just wondering if you've looked at using one of the agency's like free videography services for the event, like such as like UBC TV.
We have not.
Okay.
Chair Mello, go ahead.
Can I introduce a motion to amend?
Are there any more questions? Take a second first and then.
For the clarification.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know for some purchases in the past, sometimes people may go through like vendors that are not necessarily like into the UMass system, and so sometimes in the past what they have done is, as long as like the vendor or the vendors were like willing to go through that process of registering with the university, it's okay like to request for it.
And just to add, this was also like, we were told about the invoices last week as well, so we did just proximity, all that jazz, most convenient.
Are there any further questions of a factual nature? Vice President Nalivo, go ahead.
I have a point of clarification. Is that allowed?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. I'm on DIA Fund committee, and when we received this, I was not aware that the invoice part that said James meant James Carroll. Because this passed unanimously, which meant that everybody on our committee voted yes.
Okay. Good clarification, thank you. Are there any further factual questions? Is there a second for the motion?
Motion to amend the motion to pass second.
Yeah. Is there a second on the motion? Second. Second received. You have a question of a factual nature for the sponsors?
Yes.
Okay. I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Hello. I assume that like since James is on the committee that like he has abstained from voting, right? Yeah. Okay. I just wanted.
Okay, I guess that's a question for Vice President Nalivo.
No, point of clarification, James was the chair of the committee and there were no abstentions to this, so there was a unanimous yes vote.
Yeah. So I guess even if you didn't vote, it would be proper.
The chair can't vote.
The chair can't vote, but he did facilitate this.
Please direct all statements to the chair that we're still in parliamentary procedure. Okay, so
Yeah, I'd like,
did you vote?
No, I did not vote.
Okay,
I did not
there was
vote.
no vote from the chair then.
For the record, I did not vote.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, second has been received. Does there exist a need for debate or is there a motion to amend? Chair Mello?
motion to amend to reduce the cost to $4,200 to remove the $600 photographer fee as it is not currently a UMass approved vendor.
Hold on. Wait.
Motion to amend to change the dollar amount to $4,200 has been called.
As done with HASA, it can be, I believe that money can be approved from under other areas, including potentially revenue accounts.
All right,
That's my factual description.
okay. You yield to questions then? All right, are there questions? Huh?
I'm sorry, 4,400.
Okay, the amended amount is 4,400, just getting rid of the 600? Okay, 4,400 is the amendment. The factual description was given. Are there any questions of a factual nature about the amendment? Senator Walker Hoover?
It's to my understanding that we have approved of vendors who weren't actually approved by the university to be funded. So I'm wondering if there's a precedent for funding stuff that haven't been vendors.
Chair Trong, clarification?
So in the past, for some vendors, that has been approved, even if they're not technically university approved, as long as they're willing to go through the university processes afterwards of registering so that they can be paid properly. That has been done in the past.
So I'm wondering why that can't be the method for this case in point, making sure that the photographer goes through the vending approvals, but still proceeding with the vote because they obviously need this funding approved as soon as possible because they were here last week, they're here this week.
Can you just stay on the question, please?
But I'm just saying, is it possible to just forego that amendment if the photographer in question is willing to go through the UMass vending process?
All right,
I think I would have felt more comfortable with that 2 weeks ago because that was when they first were requested to get this information. This is the first time I've seen this. So my amendment stands. You can feel free to vote against it. That's the amendment that I'm proposing. There could also be another DF fund request in the future, I suppose, to fund something again.
I believe there's a need for debate.
okay, we're still taking questions right now. Are there questions about the amendment? No further questions about the amendment? Did somebody have a question over here?
I don't really have a question, but I was just statement just to say that, as I said again, stated before, that it was more convenient and he's worked with other organizations here before. So if it is an issue, our organization does know of other photographers and we could budget
Okay, the question on right now is just on amending the dollar amount to be $600 less. Are there any more questions? Chair Dami?
I don't know if this question is allowed to be asked right now, but are the videographer and DJ also approved UMass vendors? Would you happen to know that?
Unaware, but both have worked with UMass organizations here before.
Okay, right now I'm taking questions about the amendment, about the motion to lower the amount from 5,000 to 4,400. Chair Onyeka, go ahead.
Am I allowed to make a point of clarification or is that out of order?
Yeah, point of clarification is fine.
Okay, as a person who runs an organization, Black Student Union, if you make a request for someone who's not a vendor, which I have done in the past, after you approve it, they will send them a form to be registered with the university. That's common, it happens all the time. There's like a million different vendors that people can use, and not all of them are going to be approved by UMass before we bring them in. So countless times I have seen them send the vendor information to register with UMass. They do it every time, and they can't be paid without it. So there's no way that this would not work out with SACO because it happens every single time.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, another main reason I am bringing this amendment is because if that's the case, I would assume that would have happened in the previous cases that he's been paid, including like in previous allocations where this has come up, because I believe we also allocated for Blue last year. Which then, if that paperwork is not completed, as he said he's not registered with UMass, then I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but
Just be redone every time.
Are there,
done individually.
hold on. Are there any more questions of a factual nature about the amendment, which is to lower the amount from 5,000 to 4,400? All right. Is there a second for the amendment? Is there a second for the amendment? Does there exist a need for debate on the amendment?
Yes.
All right, need for debate has been indicated. We'll go into parliamentary debate. So if you're in support of the amendment to lower the amount, please line up behind that microphone. You can put that back. I'm so sorry. And then if you are in opposition to the amendment, please line up on this side over here. My left, your right. Yeah, this side is opposition, this side is support for the amendment to lower the dollar amount from 5,000 to 4,400. Everyone else, please stay quiet. Thank you. Yeah, and just to remind everyone, all comments need to be directed towards the chair, so to me. I will allow each participant, well, is somebody gonna line up on support? I'll allow each participant to speak for 1 minute. We'll start with, sorry, give me a sec. All right, we'll start with a member in opposition. Opposition, you have 1 minute. I'll give you a gavel tap at 15 seconds left. Your 1 minute starts. You ready? 1 minute starts now.
So I oppose this amendment because I just think it's unfair to the person in question. I don't understand why that their payment has to be stricken off or restrained from this invoice. I think it's just curtailing the process, and I think the NPHC need the money approved so they can go about setting up for the event. I run an organization, so I know that these types of things can stall an event from even happening or taking place. And I think just because the vendor in question hasn't gotten approved yet doesn't mean that after this vote that they won't eventually be approved through the UMass system and the UMass processes. And it's been brought to my attention that we've approved people who haven't been vendors in the past, but they've gone through the application process and become a vendor. And so that's why I really oppose it. Because I just think it's delaying the vote from passing.
That's time. Thank you. Well, unless someone lines up on the support side, I'm going to give the opposition another go. So, anyone? All right, another minute to the opposition then. Opposition, you have 1 minute. I'll give you a gavel tap at 15 seconds. Your time starts now.
Okay, so this seems to be mostly a procedural debate. So unless we're talking about specific things in the bylaws, finance-related committees go off of precedent. So the precedent, especially for this year, is that a lot of organizations will have non-quote-unquote UMass vendors, and they still get approved through DIA, either based on discretion or based on whether or not that person has been employed by the university before. So as mentioned, if you don't get all that approval from SACL, you don't get paid. So that means if someone's done an event before that's been funded through SACL, that means that in a non-official sense, they are somewhat approved by UMass because they went through that paperwork process. This is true for the Arab Cultural Student Association, who I think we approved them when they had a DJ who was an alumni. That's not technically a UMass vendor, right? Because that's not an official corporate sponsorship, but there's still precedent for that. So yeah, that's how the procedure works.
You have 5 seconds.
5 seconds? Okay, we haven't done this before.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. By the way, the motion to end debate is called motion to call the main motion, just in case anyone's wondering. Wait, let him do his point of clarification first, though. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so to clarify, this is a standing, it's not a precedent, it's a standing like policy with Saco Finance and Source. Even if you're not a registered vendor, you can go through and get registered after. This is like, the invoice itself, right, and funding it, this is like valid in terms of like the documentation and the procedural, if that is what the question is on the floor right now. Do you have any questions?
Okay, thank you for the clarification. Another minute's gonna go to the opposition if nobody lines up on that side.
Motion to call the main motion.
Motion to end debate and call the main motion has been called. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of ending debate, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. All right, the ayes have it. Debate is over, and we will vote on the amendment. So, the vote is now on the amendment to
Motion
change.
to withdraw the amendment?
All right, amendment withdrawn. Then, in that case, we're back to considering the entire motion as a whole at $5,000. Does there exist a need for debate on the whole motion? All right, with no indication of need for debate, the motion is called. All those in favor of passing S59, a motion to fund the National Panhellenic Council at $5,000 from the DIA fund, please say aye now.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it and the motion is passed. Congratulations. All right, that concludes our business from the last meeting. Now we'll move into new business for this meeting. Chair Kim. Motion to suspend the rules to consider business not anticipated has been called. What is the motion?
Motion to initiate a ballot referendum to survey collision events with electronic mobility devices in the undergraduate student body. This was already submitted to the speaker's office this morning.
Okay.
Right. A motion to initiate a ballot referendum to survey collision events with electronic mobility devices in the undergraduate student body. And this is one of three. I filled out the form like this morning.
Oh, it's in the form? It's in the motions.
It's all three are on the same doc.
All right, we'll pull those up in a minute. But yeah. You guys can talk amongst yourselves for a sec, just please don't leave. All right, everyone, order. We have the motions. So, please. So it's proposed ballot measures following meeting between Faculty Senate Secretary Tony Peck and Chair of Outreach and Development Morgan Kim. The university is considering an e-mobility devices policy. Please rank order your most to least preferred university policy options. The options are ban e-mobility devices, excluding accessibility related devices on campus, create dismount zones in areas with high pedestrian use, bring in an e-scooter rental vendor with geo-fenced no-ride zones, create a campus-wide speed limit for e-mobility devices, or no change to the current situation. Wait, you said, are these all separate votes?
So these are three separate referenda. I initiated the one for number 3 right now. So that's collision events with an e-mobility device.
Oh, I see, okay.
So I have this 2 more times, sorry.
Okay, so the motion is to add this for vote in front of the Senate, which is a ballot referendum that says, since the beginning of the fall semester, have you ever been hit by an e-mobility device, such as an e-scooter? And the options are yes, no, prefer not to disclose. The sponsorship is recognized for a factual description of the need to add it to the agenda.
This is adding it to the agenda. I was not able to meet with Faculty Senate Secretary Tony Paik until yesterday, which was the 24th. We've been talking about this in Seoul since the fall semester, and we're trying to survey the undergraduate student body on it. It is really important that we get this on the ballot to be submitted. And I'll just submit the same 2 while I'm up here, so I don't have to do it 2 more times. So the first option is based off of a presentation given by Sant Lucier, who is the chair of Seoul. He went through a presentation comparing this to multiple universities across the country, seeing different options. If you're someone like Chair Hurd, who maybe doesn't want it to change, you can say no, but we're going to try to have a ranked voting system for these 5 options and then see how the undergrad student body feels. To clarify, this is not us enforcing a policy, this is us asking the undergraduate student body how they feel about it on the ballot. And we're aiming for like 10+% of the student body.
Would you mind clarifying what SOL is also?
Sure, it's Student Affairs and University Living. It is a Faculty Senate Council that has Chair Zversky and I on it, and we go over stuff like this.
Cool, thank you. Okay, so right now we're deciding on whether to add the 3rd one to the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor of adding this business to the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. The ayes have it. The business is added to the agenda, will be placed at the end of the agenda. And then motion to add business on.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is for the second one, which says, since the beginning of the fall semester, have you ever had a near-miss collision with an e-mobility device? The options are yes, no, and prefer not to disclose. The factual description was given. Is there a second to add the highlighted portion to the agenda?
Second.
All those in favor of adding this business to the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. The ayes have it. The business is on the agenda at the end. And then lastly is the one that I read the first time, just about what kind of limitation policy should be considered. The factual description was given. Is there a second to add it to the agenda?
Second.
All right, all those in favor of adding this business to the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Those abstain say abstain. All right, the ayes have it. All 3 of these are now at the end of the agenda. We'll vote on them after the stuff we were just doing. So, okay, good. That's all added to the agenda. Now, the Senate will consider S67, a motion to initiate an action referendum on the topic of raising the waivable fee to support the UMass Amherst MassPerg chapter. The chair will now read the motion in its entirety. Motion to place an action referendum on the SGA ballot. Can you go to the motion? MassPerg, the Massachusetts Student Public Interest Research Group, is a statewide, student-directed, nonpartisan organization. For over 55 years, we've worked to mobilize students on campus to do research, advocacy, education, and service on a variety of issues, including environmental protection, public health, youth voter mobilization, and poverty relief efforts. MassPerg chapters across the state pool resources and hire a staff of professionals to work with students on issues that concern us as citizens. The UMass Amherst chapter of MassPerg was formed in 1972 when students first voted to fund the chapter. Do you support the continued existence of the MassPerg chapter at UMass Amherst by a $15 per student per semester waivable fee? This represents a $4 increase in the per semester waivable fee from $11 to $15. The last increase was in 2005 when it went from $7 to $11. Any student choosing not to support MassPerg may waive the fee. A yes vote will continue the Massburg chapter at UMass Amherst to be funded through a $15 per student per semester waivable fee that appears on your tuition bill. A no vote will remove the Massburg chapter at UMass Amherst effective at the end of the 2026-2027 school year. The motion is sponsored by Chair Kim and is co-sponsored by Sanjana Kumar and Massburg. Does the sponsorship wish to give any further factual description after the presentation? Go ahead.
So Massburg approached me multiple times in the past few weeks asking to have this added to the ballot for the spring election. They also contacted President Broski and Trustee Marino to review and clarify for everybody to put something onto the ballot as a referendum. You can either talk to the Senate, which is what they're doing now. You can go to the president's office, the trustee, or you can get 5% of the student body to support putting it onto the ballot. Obviously, based on the presentation earlier, representing against the Senate, and I didn't. This is what I got through the email, and I didn't touch the wording at all. This is exactly how they sent it to me. I believe Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Thank you. So we are electing to withdraw the motion and would like to use this next year to instead educate the student body further on our funding system and our mission. Our goal is to bring this motion back next year to further align with the presentation that we gave earlier.
All right, Chair Kim.
Some questions.
Well, so not withdrawing.
Are we allowed to withdraw? Or am I allowed to withdraw before asking questions?
Yeah, you can withdraw at any time.
Okay, motion to withdraw this, what is this, S67 from the agenda?
Since you're the sponsor, you can just withdraw it.
Okay, motion to withdraw.
All right then. Then S67 is withdrawn. Done. We're not doing it. Thank you guys. You have a question?
Yeah, I mean, they withdrew already, but are they gonna be able to afford next year? I mean, because from my understanding, they wouldn't be able to afford.
Yeah, you'll have to talk to them privately about that. We need to move on with our agenda, but thank you. All right. And then, in that case, the Senate will now consider S68, a motion to amend Title II, Chapter 23 of the Constitution and General Bylaws of the Student Government Association, sponsored by Chair Dami. The chair will now read the motion in its entirety. Well, not in its entirety, but most of it. Whereas SGA Constitution, Article 5, Section 4, Subsection E of the Student Government Association Constitution grants the University Undergraduate Senate the power to, in conjunction with the approval of the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, enact, amend, and repeal the general bylaws of the SGA. And whereas the external audit report drafted by the Transform Forward consultants, Dr. Lindsay Koch and Dr. Adam Sobolski, put forward a first read policy recommendation in response to complaints about the long duration of Senate meetings during the 2024-25 Senate regular session. And whereas a significant portion of Senate meetings are spent amending and debating amendments to the text of legislation rather than deliberating on the nature of legislation itself. And whereas long Senate meetings make student government inaccessible to students who cannot afford to dedicate more than 3 hours on a Wednesday evening to Senate business, therefore be it enacted by the University Undergraduate Senate, effective immediately, the following amendment to Title II, Chapter 23 of the General Bylaws. So if you could just scroll down a little bit. Basically, what this amendment does, you can read through it in the motions packet, but what its intention is that every time business is submitted to us to be placed on the agenda, what's going to happen is I will read it, we'll do the factual description and questions, and then it's going to get kicked to the next meeting. That way, if there's any amendments or changes that need to be made, then that can happen outside of Senate time, and then next time it'll come back just ready to vote, no need for debates or amendments or anything. Now, we did include a override, so similar to the student consultation policy, the legislative leadership team, which is the speaker, associate speaker, and the standing committee chairs, can gather to vote on whether or not motions are applicable to the policy. A 2/3 majority vote of the legislative branch leadership can override the first reading, which means that it would be fully voted on in the same meeting. And again, that's after a 2/3 vote of the legislative leadership team. So by default, every motion submitted to the speaker will be read and then tabled for a week unless the chairs decide otherwise. Does that make sense? That's in lieu of the reading. Is there any additional factual description? Then I'll take questions of a factual nature now. Chair Trong?
Yeah, I might have missed this, so does the Senate not have the ability to override first read or?
Well, the Senate can still add business to the agenda, which would automatically override both consultation and the first read policy.
Oh, clarifying.
It's already on the agenda, then the Senate also has the power of 2/3 to just overrule my decision, which would, override the first read policy through that motion. Chair Kim?
So if that situation were the case, you would do the first read and then we would 2/3 vote, the Senate would 2/3 vote to overrule the decision to table it by a week?
Yeah, because I would automatically table it to the next meeting.
Okay, and
The
that's.
Senate has the power to override my decision, in which case it would not be tabled, and we'll consider it at that meeting. Senator Wu? Can we get a microphone up here, please?
Is it possible for you to kind of remind us that this will be the policy moving forward if we do vote favorably on amending the bylaw here?
Sure, okay. Yeah. Senator Fuchizo?
Okay, this is a clarifying question because I'm confused. So is this for all main motions? So a main motion that's submitted within the necessary timeframe to be on the original agenda would be read that meeting and then automatically voted on the next meeting unless someone were to motion for that to be waived?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the idea being that the Senate wouldn't necessarily need to go into debate over motions because there would be that week in between. So that way, if you have problems with it, you can go to the sponsor and you can amend it, so that way we don't have to do that on the Senate floor extending Senate meetings, would be the hope. This is from the consultants. They suggested we did this and we talked with JD and other people.
Senator Martos?
If there's, let's say there's a club who needs funding for an event that's coming up that week, last week. So would we just have to motion to skip that rule?
Yeah, or the chairs, they'll meet beforehand to decide if it should be overridden. Hopefully in that case they would, because there would be a pressing need, but in the event that they don't decide to override it, the Senate also can decide to override it. Are there any further questions of a factual nature? Senator Fuchizo?
So for the chair procedure, would that effectively be legislative leadership voting on each individual portion of the agenda? Or would that have to be called during Senate?
That would be beforehand, just like with consultation. Meeting beforehand, before the Senate meeting to decide whether or not to apply the policy.
So for each motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any further factual questions? Is there a second for the motion? Does there exist a need for debate, or are there any motions to amend? All right, Chair Kim? All right, debate has been called. We'll go into parliamentary debate again. So if you're in support of the motion, please line up behind this microphone over here. If you're in opposition to the motion, please line up behind this microphone over here. This one's opposition, this one's support for the amendment. We'll have each side speak for 1 minute. I'll give a gavel tap warning at 15 seconds remaining. We'll go in an alternating fashion. Again, all comments should be directed towards the chair. Please do not direct comments towards each other. And again, if you're in the audience, please keep the volume down so we can hear everyone who's speaking in debate. All right. Again, we'll start with opposition. Are you ready? All right. You have 1 minute. I'll give you a warning, 15 seconds again, but your time starts now.
Right. I'm here for one reason, not the thing we just discussed. I think that's the first read policy sounds good. If you're able to scroll down quickly and go to the part about introducing business unanticipated, and again, I realize the irony in the fact that I just introduced
That's a different motion. Nine.
Okay, I'm really sorry.
You want to yield your time to someone behind you? All right, next person, start talking.
I would just say, I think this is something that's making it a lot more complex. I see the vision. I think that it's supposed to be like something that's gonna make time speed up. But I think at the same time, it's just gonna make everything a little bit more complex. And I really would want a motion table next week, so we can discuss it and then bring something that's more clear and objective.
6 seconds remaining.
Okay, then I guess I'm gonna get cut off like right about now then, so I'm not gonna try to say it.
All right, support, you have 1 minute. I'll give you a warning, 15 seconds. Your time starts now.
Yeah, so the goal of this is to cut down on the amount of time we spend in Senate. The idea being that the motion comes up, and assuming it's not an emergency, you read it, we table it. If there's amendments, those happen outside of Senate. So we're not spending hours doing this right here. Yeah, in theory, and then if you still have problems with it, if the sponsorship doesn't amend it, that's what debate is for at the next meeting. This isn't to come up with the works, it's to smooth it out.
You have 20 seconds.
Yeah, just to clarify, like we already meet, as the legislative leadership already meets about consultation, so this isn't like adding a whole new step, this is a step that already exists. We talk about motions and whether or not they need consultation. This is just like adding, like also we've done this, so I did it for the compact resolution, brought it up, and then I tabled it for next week, so we have time to actually discuss it and think about it. It's something we've been doing all year, I think it's fair.
Opposition, you have 1 minute. Your time starts now.
Well, I understand that the purpose of this is to make things run a little bit smoother. I think the effect it will have will kind of be the opposite, because I feel like this will just make things more confusing for non-SGA related organizations on campus who already have kind of a hard time navigating our system. And then on top of that, I feel like there's a difference between tabling something because it needs to have more debate and more discussion versus making that an automatic system. I feel like that's just kind of kicking stuff down the line of the semester. Plus, we have to react the way that campus is, right? So stuff is happening on a week-by-week basis. So now what we're doing is we're delaying how long we're making it longer as to how quickly we can react to things. Everybody else operates on a week-by-week system, and that's why we have people coming in every single week, and that's why we have meetings every week. Yield.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, I would just like to say that this would actually be like counterproductive because it would turn Senate into like email hell, pretty much.
Time, thank you. Support, you have 1 minute. They all yielded to you? Okay. All right. Then in that case, your 1 minute starts now.
We should be a dynamic body. We should be able to, have motions come up, and if they need to be voted on, the chairs meet beforehand, and we'll say, yes, we will override this policy, so that way we can vote on this, so that way we can be a reactionary body. And if the chairs say no, but the Senate says yes, you can override this, and then it can happen. Like, we could still be reactionary, that we wouldn't be reactive, not reactionary. Sorry.
Bye, please.
So just building off of this point, this doesn't take any control out of the hands of the Senate. If you want, you have the ability to bring it back into your control, to address it immediately. If you want to make that decision, you're welcome to. But if you don't, it just defaults into the next week. You have the time to go behind the scenes, talk to people, read the motion, go over everything.
Time. Opposition, you have 1 minute. Your time starts now.
So I think that we're all more familiar than we'd like to be with like the term bureaucracy. That has been my word of the year, and I feel like this is more bureaucracy. It feels like every week I have so much going on. This is like I have a job and I have 2 other like clubs that I commit to, and so if I'm not like consistently seeing the information and then voting on it, that's going to make it really hard for me to make like a more educated vote, because as much as I want to be educated and like keep up to date on everything that is happening, it is very difficult for me to and really unrealistic. So I think that this would just make it more difficult to make educated votes.
Intent does not mean impact. The intent of this is to be something good, but the impact is gonna be bad. So that's why we're all against it.
10 seconds left.
I just want to say the week is a very long time. If people are going to forget things, it's better to not like let the details like go away from us. And yeah.
All right, that's time. Thank you. Support, you have 1 minute. Somebody's gonna come up. Your time. All right, your time starts now.
I want to yield my time to Attorney General Mullins.
Thank you. So we have a lot of this unanticipated that's been coming up, and it has resulted in a lot of confusion and a lot of disclosure of incorrect and further protected information. It's causing a lot of issues in the Senate, and is going to result in further training next week. Get excited, guys. But we really should be trying to get more time for people to understand what they're voting on, understand the issue, and let all the facts come to light. I think details is an important idea. I think we need time to realize all the details, understand all the details, as opposed to, just immediately vote on it.
So the way I see this, and I understand you guys' concerns, the way I see this is it's more of like a culture shift rather than having everything default be we need to pass it in 1 week, it's passed in 2. The Senate still has to say to override the chairs. And in terms of that, for like the resolutions that we had in the past where they're submitted very late, and it's very hard for us as a Senate to do due diligence if the default culture and procedures allow people to just.
Opposition, you have 1 minute. Your time starts now. Yeah? Okay, pause time, yeah?
If somebody were to Thank you. If somebody were to, let's say, put forward a very sensitive emergency motion and then pass, would this add a second vote to the already existing like consultation policy over to the consultation override?
Yeah.
Vote? Okay.
It'll be 2 separate votes. If the consultation policy, yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, so when the chairs meet to override or implement the consultation policy, they would then also vote on this. So 1 meeting, a second vote for the chairs, but that's like 2 more minutes in a meeting. The meeting that already happens pre-Senate. So this isn't adding meetings, this isn't adding anything besides 1 vote in 1 meeting, if that makes sense. The chairs already meet pre-Senate.
All right. Opposition, you have 1 minute. Ready?
I'm not ready. Hello? Hello? Wait.
All right, now you're ready. Your time starts now.
It takes a lot of time and editing to get these motions in front of us. The reason a lot of times it passes is because it's so clean and concise that we all are going to agree on this. There's no point to make the rule for the minority of these motions. And again, 7 weeks is a lot of time. We live really busy lives. All of the details are going to completely dissipate from us. Like, we're not going to think about that over the week. A lot of these motions are really simple, and we're going to come up with a decision right then and then, and you're just making people wait for no reason.
30 seconds.
All right, so I think the thing that differentiates the legislative branch of the SGA from the other branches is the fact that we're a representative body. So that part of that comes through the numbers that we have, right? The fact that we have to discuss everything with everyone, I think is great. It's part of our democratic process. Someone mentioned a culture shift. I don't want a culture shift to something where we're placing more decisions in the hands of 9 people instead of the hands of everybody in this room. Thank you.
Right. 5 seconds.
I also add to a different, you know what?
Good try, good try. Okay. Support, you have 1 minute. Your time starts now.
So I'm a senator that got appointed last winter. I've only been here for a year, and I look around this room and I don't recognize that many faces. This entire purpose is to simplify Senate overall, and it's supposed to make our business easier. And just look at the number of name tags on this table right here. These are people who didn't show up because they believe that it takes too much time out of their day. And just overall to make Senate even more complicated, and you can't just have such a large portion of people that don't show up because they view this as to be too complicated.
19 seconds.
I just really quickly want to
Quiet, quiet.
remind everyone that our job as senators is to stay up to date with all the information that's being placed in this meeting. If something is to be tabled to another meeting, it is your responsibility. You are representing the student body. You are going to be keeping up to date with this information.
Time. Opposition, you have 1 minute. Your time starts now. Okay, hold on. All right, ready? Your time starts now.
Okay, so I think that a lot of the intentions behind this are great. I don't think they're gonna have the positive impacts that we would hope. I do not think this is going to fix our retention issue. I do not think this is gonna help our culture. But what I do think could happen is that we're creating a higher barrier for other students to communicate their needs to the SGA. We're slowing ourselves down, which doesn't help with the fact that everyone thinks we kind of sit around here and do nothing and bicker, kind of like we are right now, honestly. But yeah, so I really would like this to fix all of our problems. I don't think it's going to. I think there are gonna be a lot of unintended negative effects, one of which being, like Noah mentioned, a lot of stuff getting slowed down. A lot of really important issues happen on campus that need rapid response. That could come in the form of emergency funding, that could come in the form of resolutions, that can come in a lot of different forms. Even putting ballots up. For example, we have a very brief election period. If this was a policy, we would have to wait 2 weeks to put something on the ballot, which is not feasible when we have a 1 week election period. Doesn't work for the rest of campus.
Support. Motion to call the main motion and end debate has been called. Is there a second? All right, all those in favor of ending debate, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. Those abstaining, say abstain. All right, debate over. Everyone sit down. Thank you guys so much. Debate is good. All right. With that, is everyone seated? All right, everyone, quiet, please. It's time. Okay. The main motion has been called. The vote is on the passage of S68, a motion to amend Title II, Chapter 23 of the Constitution and general bylaws of the SGA. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. No. Those abstaining, say abstain. All right, we're gonna do a hand-raised vote. If you're in support of passage, please raise your hand.
Motion to table?
Oh,
No.
motion to table.
Once you call main motion,
We have to vote, we
is on
have
the
to vote.
motion, you can't make any other motions. Please, sorry. Please raise your hand, keep them up, high, 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 high.
This is for yes to support passage. Yep. Bylaw amendment? Yes? Yeah, 2/3.
Sorry, I was thinking and counting at the same time. Can you put them up again?
All right, thank you. Hands down. Those opposed, please raise your hands. Nays, please keep your hands up. Raise them high, please. Thank you. Hands down. Those abstaining, please raise your hands. All right. The count is 26 ayes, 11 noes, 2 abstentions. It does not meet the 2/3 threshold, and so the motion fails. All right, the Senate will now consider.
It's not 2/3 according to the amount of senators that are present right now, according to the quorum sheet.
Yeah, based on roll call.
Based on roll call, we do not have.
Roll call at the beginning of the meeting. Well, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. It's written down, so that's how we count the votes. 25, right? 25, 11, 2. Huh? You're calling quorum? Okay, quorum has been questioned. The associate speaker is going to record roll.
It wasn't me, y'all.
Okay. Senator Trophy. Senator Trophy, absent. Senator Bauman. Senator Bauman, present. Senator Baker. Senator Baker, present. Senator Blair. Senator Blair, present. Senator Breen. Senator Breen, absent. Senator Calvo. Senator Calvo, present. Senator Chamu. Senator Chamu, absent. Senator Chaparro. Senator Chaparro, present. Senator DeRiggi. Senator DeRiggi, present. Chair Dami. Chair Dami, present. Senator Dang. Senator Dang, present. Senator Faciso. Senator Faciso, present. Senator Ercole Espinal. Thank you. Senator Hirnandani. Senator Hirnandani, present. Chair Hood. Chair Hood, present. Senator Huang. Senator Huang, present. Senator Conan. Senator Conan, present. Senator Kennedy. Senator Kennedy, present. Chair Kim. Chair Kim, present. Senator Cohison. Senator Cohison, present. Senator Lamore. Senator Malari. Senator Malari, absent. Senator Mari. Senator Mari, present. Senator Martos. Senator Martos, present. Senator Meesum. Senator Meesum, absent. Chair Mello. Chair Mello, present. Senator Morales-Aquino. Senator Morales-Aquino, present. Senator Nalivo. Senator Nalivo, present. Senator Ng. Senator Ng, present. Chair Onyeka. Chair Onyeka, present. Senator Dish Patel. Senator Dish Patel, absent. Senator Mesh Patel. Senator Mesh Patel, absent. Senator Rai Patel. Senator Rai Patel, present. Senator Reed. Senator Reed, present. Senator Rogers. Senator Rogers, present. Senator Roy. Senator Roy, absent. Senator Saini. Senator Saini, absent. Senator Schuette. Senator Schuette, present. Senator Siegel. Senator Siegel, present. Senator Sun. Senator Sun, present. Chair Swirsky. Chair Swirsky, present. Senator Tackey. Senator Tackey, present. Senator Tajwani. Senator Tajwani, present. Senator Tao. Senator Tao, absent. Senator Tick. Senator Tick, present. Chair Trong. Chair Trong, present. Senator Valatka. Senator Valatka, present. Senator Valencia Gallego. Senator Valencia Gallego, present. Senator Vender Wilson. Senator Vender Wilson, present. Senator Verma. Senator Verma, present. Senator Walker Hoover. Senator Walker Hoover, present. Senator Wu. Senator Wu, present. With 43 voting members, a quorum is present. That also does not change the 2/3.
Chair Mello. Yeah, the vote is over. To change it for the vote we just did? Yeah, it's already done. Yeah. JD, can you help us out for a second?
Okay, hang on, everyone, please. The subsidiary motion has been made. We are checking to see if that is compliant with Robert's rules and our bylaws. We will make a decision on that, and then we will consider further subsidiary motions. Please hang on.
Normally, when a vote ends, but we want to vote on it again, you have to call a motion to reconsider a motion. The thing is that the motion to reconsider can only come from someone who voted on the side that won. So in this case, somebody who voted no would have to make the motion to reconsider. But or somebody who didn't vote. It has to be someone. Wait. It has to be someone on the prevailing side. Prevailing. All right. Everyone quiet, please. Order. All right. We, wait. Hold on. Okay. Motion to overrule the decision of the speaker has been called. Is there a second? Yeah, what decision are you overruling? My decision to call, like, not pass the last thing? Quiet, everyone quiet, please, quiet.
We're calling the voting into question.
Okay. All right, you know what? Fine. Okay, I understand what he's trying to do, so we'll just go with that. All right, motion to overrule the decision of the speaker. If it passes, we're gonna go back and vote on the thing we just voted on again. So, is there a second? Second was received, I think, right? Okay, thank you. Not debatable. And it's passed with a majority vote, that's what it says here. So, all those in favor of overruling the decision of the speaker, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no? No! All right, hand raise, we'll do a hand raise. We'll do a hand raise vote. All those in favor of overruling the decision of the speaker, please raise your hand now and raise it high.
Please, hey.
Those opposed to overruling the decision of the speaker, please raise your hand. Thank you, hands down. Those abstaining, please raise your hand. Okay, with 19 in support, 14 against, 3 abstentions, the motion passes. So now with what, roll call vote on the last thing? Okay. Well, the decision has been overruled, so. No, it's by simple majority, it says it on there. All right, my decision is overruled, so we're going back to S68. Motion to amend Title II, Chapter 23 of the Constitution and general bylaws of the SGA. We're going to do a roll call vote. The way this works, everyone, quiet, please, listen. The way this works is we're just going to go through the roll call. When your name is called, please say aye, nay, or abstain. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, okay, guys, please. I will be skipping the absent ones from the last roll call since I know that they are absent. If you do not hear a name called because you missed the quorum count, please speak up. Okay, Senator Baumann. Senator Baumann, aye. Oh, God. Sorry. Senator Baker.
Aye.
Senator Baker, aye. Senator Blair. Senator Blair, abstain. Yeah, this is passing the bylaw amendment. Senator Breen, oh, sorry, Senator Breen's absent. Senator Calvo. Senator Calvo, no. Senator Chaparro. Senator Chaparro, aye. Senator DeRiggi. Senator DeRiggi, aye. Chair Donnie. Chair Donnie, aye. Senator Dang. Senator Dang, aye. Senator Faciso.
No.
Senator Faciso, nay. Senator Hercules Espinal. Senator Hercules Espinal, aye. Senator Hirondani. Senator Hirondani, aye. Chair Hood. Chair Hood, aye. Senator Huang. Senator Huang, aye. Senator Conan. Senator Conan, aye. Senator Kennedy. Senator Kennedy, aye. Chair Kim. Chair Kim, nay. Senator Cohison. Senator Cohison, aye. Senator Murray. Senator Murray, aye. Senator Meeson. Oops, sorry. Absent. Chair Mello. Chair Mello, aye. Senator Martos. Senator Martos, nay. Senator Morales-Aquino.
Aye.
Senator Morales-Aquino, aye. Senator Nellyville.
Aye.
Senator Nellyville, aye. Senator Ing. Senator Ing, abstain. Chair Onyeka. Chair Onyeka, aye. Senator Rahi Patel. Senator Rahi Patel, aye. Senator Reed. Senator Reed, aye. Senator Rogers. Senator Rogers, aye. Senator Schuette. Senator Schuette, aye. Senator Sun. Senator Sun, aye. Chair Seversky. Chair Seversky, aye. Senator Siegel.
Nay.
Senator Siegel, nay. Senator Tackey.
Aye.
Senator Tackey, aye. Senator Teswani. Senator Teswani, aye. Senator Tick.
No.
Senator Tick, no. Chair Tron.
Aye.
Chair Tron, aye. Senator Valaka. Senator Valaka, no. Senator Valencia Gallego.
Aye.
Senator Valencia Gallego, aye. Senator Vander Wilson.
Nay.
Senator Vander Wilson, nay. Senator Verma. Senator Verma, nay. Senator Walker Hoover.
Yay.
Senator Walker Hoover, nay. Senator Wu. Senator Wu, nay. Okay. All right, thank you. The count has been tallied. The new count is
29 ayes, 12 nays, 2 abstentions. That meets the 2/3 threshold, and so the amendment passes. All right. Now we'll move on to S69. S69, motion to amend Title II, Chapter 21 of the Constitution and General Bylaws of the SGA. The speaker will now read part of the motion in its entirety. Whereas SGA Constitution Article 5, Subsection 4, Section 4, Subsection E, grants the University Undergraduate Senate the power to, in conjunction with the approval of the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, Chair Onyeka. Motion to waive the reading has been called. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. So the vote is to waive the reading of the motion. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. No. All right, those abstaining say abstain. Okay, nays have it. I'll keep reading. So, whereas the availability of a public agenda 48 hours in advance is required by Massachusetts law and is necessary for the promotion of transparency and student trust in the SGA, and whereas the ease at which unanticipated business is added to the agenda creates avenues to bypass the 2016 student consultation policy while also undermining the purpose of providing an agenda 48 hours in advance, therefore be enacted by the University Undergraduate Senate, effective immediately, the following amendments to Title II, Chapter 21 of the General Bylaws. Okay. One thing, subsidiary motions used to only be allowed after special orders. We got rid of that because we didn't really see the need. But the actual big change in this is that, wait, this is friendly amendment also? It's both. Oh, okay. All right, there's actually 2 big changes then. So the first one is this one right here. Basically, if the sponsor of the motion being amended does not object to the amendments presented by the sponsor of the subsidiary motion, the motion shall be amended accordingly without a vote of the Senate. If the amendment is not accepted by the sponsor of the motion, the consideration of the subsidiary motion will continue as prescribed below. Basically, what that means is that if someone proposes an amendment and the person who is like the main sponsor of the motion is fine with that amendment, we don't have to go through the whole voting process. It can just be amended as is. The same change was made for amending an amendment. So basically, if someone proposes an amendment and someone wants to make an amendment to the amendment that the original sponsor of the original amendment supports, then the amendment will be amended. It's complicated, but just basically friendly amendments. If you propose an amendment and the sponsor likes it, it doesn't have to be voted on. We made it so that for a motion to recognize a non-member of the Senate, we just put it in the bylaws that you can motion to recognize all non-members for the duration of the meeting, because we've already been doing that, so I just decided to put it in the bylaws. We just added to a motion to reconsider, we just added a section for a factual description. I think it makes sense. Same as most other things, factual description. Okay. The changes to business not anticipated are as follows. So first of all, we're changing it so that the subsidiary motion to suspend the rules to consider business not anticipated will only be in order during its designated section of the agenda, which means that you could only make the motion to add business after we finish all of our business that's on the agenda. So basically, if you look at the agenda, at the very bottom, it says business not anticipated 48 hours prior to. Basically, we would have to reach that section before you are allowed to even make the motion to add unanticipated business to the agenda. And then we added a section again for factual description. Same thing. Okay, this is the big change. This is the actual big change. If the vote to suspend the rules shall have passed with unanimous consent, the motion in question shall be placed last on the agenda. That means business not anticipated has to be approved by unanimous consent of the Senate. Okay. All right. Okay, I guess we're gonna amend that actually, so never mind.
Yeah, I would be in favor of amending that to 3/4. Many people have come up to me to express their concern with it. So I am okay with amending that once we get to that part of the agenda.
Okay. Well, that makes it a little easier then. Below that, we just added a section for a factual description for rearranging the agenda. Waiving the reading doesn't really need one, so we didn't bother with that. Just a couple grammar changes, I think, the rest of the stuff. We got rid of on block and replaced it with jointly and join, because I don't know. Then basically at the bottom, there was a section that limits speaking to 8 minutes total during debate. We decided that it should just be whatever time limit the speaker decides, because, I don't know. There's not really a need to limit it to 8 minutes. If it ever does need to go higher, then we should have that possibility open. That is all the amendments to the thing. Any further factual description from AA? No? All right, then we'll take factual questions. Chair Trong?
Yeah, I have a question about, I believe, section 12, subsection B, subsection I, subsection 1. Holy. It's on page 8. So basically it says like we can't add anything not anticipated unless we get to the 48 hours, I believe. And so I guess my question for the sponsor is if you guys would be willing to amend potentially to add a clause in case like we do need to amend. And so for my example would be like for emergency funding, if that does, like the whole point of emergency funding is it's supposed to be like a faster way for avenues for RSOs and like it's an emergency already. And so in theory, like if that comes up past that Monday submission time, we would have to add it as anticipated. And then if we have a long agenda item, we would essentially be forcing that RSO to wait potentially until like 8, 9, 10, 11 p.m. And I don't think that's equitable for the RSO.
Answer that. You guys can make whatever amendments you want. I don't care. Other questions? Yes, Secretary Nevins.
Why 3/4 and not 2/3?
It is currently 2/3, and after discussions with many stakeholders, we felt that it might be worth raising the threshold considering how much business not anticipated has been put on the agenda last fall.
Any further questions? All right. Is there a second for the motion? Okay, yeah. What's the amendment?
The amendment would be to change on like 12 BI 1 to I guess I'll say at like either at the beginning of the main body of the Senate or during the Senate. What's it called? The beginning of Senate business or at the end. I can do that. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So it would be, okay, so then the new text would be the subsidiary motion to suspend the rules to consider a main motion not previously on the agenda shall only be in order at the beginning of special orders, new business?
Before committee of the whole.
Before
committee of the whole. Yeah.
So after approval of the minutes, before committee of the whole.
Okay, okay. So the subsidiary motion to suspend the rules to consider a main motion not previously on the agenda shall only be in order during its designated section of the agenda or in between approval of the minutes and committee of the whole. Hold on. Do you want to give a factual description of the amendment?
Yeah, I just think if it's like an emergency resolution, I think it's probably like it's something that's like been prepared, whatever. It's like I think there should be just like a space during meetings. It doesn't have to be on this thing where it's like suddenly at the end, if it's like really urgent, but you have to maybe consider like higher or whatever. But just sort of creating an extra window. Like I get the rationale behind this, but behind this particular bylaws, but having it for this is better.
All right. Are there questions? Chair Tron?
Would the sponsorship be amenable to adding a clause that requires a 3/4 majority vote?
Instead of unanimous consent?
Yes, for 3/4.
We're talking about this amendment.
Correct, yeah, to to add stuff unanticipated, for the subsection 1, what Senator Siegel's amending, I'm in agreement. I'm asking if we can amend the amendment to add a clause requiring a 3/4 majority vote of the Senate.
Oh, motion to amend an amendment. What's the amendment to the amendment? Just adding the 3/4 thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we go 2/3, I will accept that.
It's currently 2/3. Right. Yeah. Right now, it's 2/3 to add business to the agenda. The amendment to the amendment would be proposing changing this amendment from unanimous consent down to 3/4, which is still above the current threshold as it is unamended.
Wait, so I don't think that that's what this is.
No, he's saying to add a subclause to this part to say with 3/4.
So you're saying if it's considered, is that, if it's considered, you're saying, isn't that already, that's a different part of this?
Isn't that a second amendment, just bigger, where we have you?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, that's a separate topic, I want to debate that as well. I think that's, I'm pretty sure that's covered by a different amendment. Yeah, okay, I was wrong.
Okay. Senator Schuette. Microphone.
I guess this would be a point of clarification or either, yeah, whatever. Okay, so the only difference this makes based on what Senator Siegel was saying is it's changing it from the beginning to the end. So I just want to remind you guys of that. It's a very,
Is there a question?
why?
Because, so you didn't write it.
True. No, because the amendment as it stands would only allow business not anticipated to be brought up at the end of a meeting.
It's to make it more systemic.
There's only questions at this time, only questions.
Yeah, I think that you should be. I'm basically, my amendment says you should also be able to do that at the beginning of the meeting. I understand the idea that this like systematizes it. That's why I didn't say. Oh, that's why I didn't strike. Amend to just strike that clause or whatever entirely. It's like I think that it should be available you should be able to do so at the beginning or at the end.
Are there further questions about the amendment? All right. So we'll say considered. Prior to committee of the whole or during and including in section, right? Prior to committee of the whole and or what, after approval of the minutes? I think you can just say prior to committee of the whole, right? Okay, that's good. Okay, is the amendment reflected accurately? Senator Siegel, is the amendment reflected accurately in the document?
I'm going to stall for a second. I'm going to filibuster for a second. That is what I intended, yes.
Okay, all right, cool. Is there a second for the amendment? All right, quiet please, quiet please. All those in favor of the, does there exist a need for debate on the amendment? With no indication of need for debate, the amendment is called. All those in favor of the amendment in blue, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. All right, the ayes have it, the amendment is adopted. So another motion to amend? What is the amendment? And you can,
Motion to amend the subsection 6 from unanimous consent to 3/4 majority vote.
All right. Do you want to give a factual description?
Current threshold is 2/3, and so we've been having issues over the past 1 to 2 years in terms of business coming up not anticipated. And so the idea is, if it's important enough for the Senate to hear right away, then we should be able to get 3/4 majority in Senate. And so with the previous amendment we just reflected, that can be done prior to committee of the whole, which I think is something that's fair and flexible.
Are there questions of a factual nature for the sponsor of the amendment? All right, no questions. Is there a second for this amendment?
Second.
Does there exist a need for debate? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, debate has been called. We'll go into parliamentary debate. If you are in support of the amendment to 3/4, please stand on this side, opposition on this side. And if you're not standing up to debate, please don't say anything. Don't say anything. All right. Again, I'll give you guys 1 minute. Actually, I'll give you guys 30 seconds. 30 seconds, I'll give you a gavel tap at 15. Opposition, you're up first. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, 30 seconds, your time starts now.
I think increasing the threshold basically is. I think that increasing the threshold to 3/4 from 2/3, or to unanimous from 2/3 is essentially means that we can not we won't be able, like, if emergency stuff, for example, relating to the May 7th, 2024 encampment, if that's like a politically contested resolution, et cetera, or whatever had come up in that sort of situation, and there was a third of the Senate that was.
Okay, support, you have 30 seconds, your time starts now.
Well, the idea is that last semester we had a lot of business unanticipated that maybe didn't necessarily meet the threshold and so didn't need to be put on the agenda. But if there is emergency business, you would prove that there's emergency business and then the Senate would vote. We're not like trying to make things a whole lot harder. That's why we took out the unanimous consent. But there is, I think, necessity for a threshold. It's supposed to go out 48 hours prior, so that way the Senate has the ability.
Time. Okay, my bad, we're going back up to a minute. Opposition, you have 1 minute. I'll give you a gavel tap at 15 seconds still. Your time starts now.
Jacob.
I just don't see why we're making such a mess of this. 2/3 is a majority. I don't know why we want to increase that majority to silence the voices of an already existing majority. I don't see the point to this. We're trying to make our meetings faster. We're trying to make it so that debate happens in our office instead of in a public square. I don't see why we have to use these efficiency terms in regard to the Senate when we're talking about open debate. This moves things to the public scene. It is seen here. It is heard by people here. It is very important that we have these things and we have these conversations. And I mean, I've been hearing talks about new people making these decisions. I've been here for 2 years, and this is the kind of thing that we should be doing. We should have a 2/3 majority, which we already do, and they vote for it, and then we move on. 3/4 is so unnecessary, and it makes it far more difficult to get things done in this body.
Thank you. All right, support, you have 1 minute, your time starts now.
Yeah, I definitely hear the concerns that having the 3/4 instituted. However, I think it would be beneficial just because of the volume of resolutions and in compliance with open meeting laws. Like, we are supposed to have the 48 hours and the public's supposed to have that 48 hours to be able to check anything. And so what we've come up with last semester in terms of like issues in this semester is we'll have resolutions that come up last minute because of like the schedules of the sponsors, which is fine, but it's also that we need our due diligence as a Senate in order to review it. And so I think that if it is really that pressing for like emergency funding, for DIA, for resolutions that come up, we should be able to get that 3/4 to add it to the agenda, not necessarily to pass it, but just to add it to the agenda to discuss it.
7 seconds.
7 seconds.
We shouldn't have that many emergencies in one semester.
It's making.
Time. Thank you. Opposition, you have 1 minute. Your time starts now.
Yeah, I mean, Jacob just whispered to me, we should not have that many emergencies in one semester, but I think that considering the politically contentious era that we are in on our campus, which is, continues to be racked by protest movements, continues to be dealing with major political questions which concern the political life of students, of the students that are represented by this body. I think that providing our body with the agility to be able to deal with these questions properly, to deal with contentious questions where there might be 1/3 -1 votes not in favor of considering it. I think that 2/3 is a perfectly. It's a super majority. I think it's standard. I think it's what most things in our parliamentary procedure are based around 2/3. I think it just makes more sense. I'll yield to Jacob.
4 seconds.
What she said.
All right, time. Thank you. Sharon Yeka? Can I give them another go? These guys started. Yeah? You don't have to. If you want to go for it. All right. Motion to call the main motion has been called to end debate. Is there a second? Second. All right. All those in favor of ending debate, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. Those abstaining, say abstain. The ayes have it. Debate's over. Good debate. All right then. Main motion has been called. We are voting on the amendment in blue to change unanimous consent to 3/4 majority. All those in favor of passing the blue amendment, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. Aye. Those abstaining, say abstain. Abstain. Yeah. All right. The votes in question will go to hand raised. If you support the amendment in blue, please raise your hand now and raise it high.
Point of information.
Yeah.
If we don't amend it, it stays as unanimous.
That's correct.
We can just amend it again. We
Oh my God. This is in support of this amendment. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, guys.
Wait, keep your hands up for yes.
Sorry, the hands keep changing and I'm losing count.
All right, those hands down, please. Thank you. Those in opposition, please raise your hands. Opposition, nobody? All right. Abstentions, who's abstaining? Nobody? All right, cool. Then the amendment passes. Senator Siegel. Motion to amend has been called. What is the amendment?
To change language from 3/4 to 2/3.
Okay.
Strike this. All of this. It goes back. Yes. Shall have passed. Just 2/3.
You can change it to 2/3. Okay. The amendment, everyone? The amendment now is to change 3/4 to 2/3. To 2/3. Is there a factual description for the amendment?
Yeah, this was the thing that we were debating before. I would rather 3/4 than unanimous, but I would rather 2/3 than 3/4. So I just want to put it to the vote. I think we've already debated this. But yeah, let's just, yeah.
Are there any questions of a factual nature for the sponsorship? All right, there is, back there. Senator Tacky, you're recognized.
Sorry, there was too much attitude in that respectfully, what does changing this to 2/3 actually like do in terms of the productivity and what we actually get done here in Senate? I feel like if it needs to come up, it's going to come up. 3/4 of us don't just show up because we have nothing better to do. So,
Well, just the question, please.
yeah, my question is why would you like it changed to 2/3? Like very specifically, concisely, why do you want to change this?
I just want it to stay how it's been for decades now, which is that like if we're doing business unanticipated, I think like or for as long as I understand it, for as long as the student consultation policy has been in place, this has been like a 2/3 thing, whatever. The like I don't see when we consider sort of this is like the democratic deliberative body of like the student body. I don't understand why we should like, you know, eke up our capacity for sort of political discourse and debate, etc.
All right, wait, you had a point of, yeah, go ahead.
Like right now, if you look at the sheet, it's currently 2/3. This amendment would make it so the proposed amendment, which was at 69, I believe, would not take effect for 12A, whatever this is, like 12A16. This is keeping consistent with what we have as of right now. So it's shooting down the proposed amendment for this section, keeping it at 2/3. Yeah.
All right, factual questions again, Senator Schuette, go ahead.
Okay. Wait, okay, this one. My question is, do you think that business not anticipated will not get, if it's extremely urgent, do you think that it will not get the amount of votes needed to meet a 3/4 majority?
Let's ask questions in a neutral tone, please.
Okay. Do you think that business not anticipated, if it's extremely urgent or like emergent, will not meet a 3/4 majority? Because I would argue that it would very easily.
Just the question, please, just the question.
Just the
Thank
question,
you.
okay.
Okay.
I think that's a very I can see that potentiality very clearly in my mind. I'm thinking about, for example, the GIVE resolution last semester, which I know that they were problematic as
Quiet in the back, please.
Attorney.
Quiet.
Yeah. As Attorney General Mullins like alluded to earlier, like there were problematic elements of that discussion, but that still was something relevant.
Betty, Elliot, Abby, please.
It was still relevant and urgent. And let's say that, you know, I mean, look, due to the work of myself and others, we're seeing the SGA sort of emerge into a period with more sort of codified like political blocks, right? And I think that if that's going to start happening, like like that there's like a real potentiality in which a very a very contested, you know, political motion, whatever that requires us to overrule consultation might not have a third, might have a third opposed to that, have a third of the members present in the Senate opposed to the passage of the resolution, block debate by, or like, a quarter of the members opposed to the passage of the resolution use this.
Quiet over here too.
Even the consideration or debate of an important an important resolution. I'm going to yield to Jacob for a moment, who wanted to say something, I think.
In response to that question, yes.
3/4 can be weaponized by people for political purposes. We've seen that before in the Senate. It's happened before. You may not have seen it happen a lot last year. Furthermore, I think it seeks to make us more inaccessible. 2/3 is an accessible vote for people that have actual emergencies that are not within the Senate, that do not understand our processes, and that need to be able to, in some instances, do business unanticipated because they do not understand those processes. I think it is very important that we maintain our accessibility. It is a part of our mission statement to provide a space for democratic governance for the student body. This is how we can do that for a great many of the student body who are not involved with the student government and should not have to be involved with the student government to do things in it.
Further factual questions? Huh? Well, we're not in debate right now. Are there further factual questions? Is there a second for the amendment? Does there exist a need for debate on this amendment? Yes?
Point of information,
Yeah, sure.
this is to add it to the agenda. No?
Huh?
Or, wait,
Right now it is 3/4, but the amendments to change. Yeah. 2/3 added to agenda. Second was received. Does there exist a need for debate on the amendment? All right, no indication. Then all those in favor of the amendment changing it to 2/3, say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. Okay, people in support, raise your hands, please. If you're in support of the amendment, raise your hand. Thank you, hands down. Those in opposition, please raise your hands. All right, hands down, thank you. Abstaining, please raise your hand. Okay. With 16 ayes, 15 noes, 2 abstentions, the amendment passes. So it's at 2/3. Now we're again at the debate/amendment period on the entire motion. Are there any further amendments, or is there a need for debate on the entire motion?
Do you want to?
No, okay. Then in that case, the main motion is called. All those in favor of passing S69, sorry, my bad. All those in favor of passing S69, say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. All right, the ayes have it, the amendment is passed. On to S70, which is a motion to amend Title I, Title I, Chapter 1, Section 2 of the General Bylaws of the SGA. I'm not going to read the whole thing, factual description.
I withdraw this motion.
This motion is withdrawn. So, not an issue anymore. All right, that concludes our business for Senate. Chair Onyeka?
The one for funding MPHC at $5,000. I don't remember the number. Can we do that?
It was 5,000.
No, the number of S, the S whatever.
Oh,
67.
S59.
Motion to reconsider S59.
That passed, right?
That passed. I don't know if we can do that.
You voted, how did you vote on it?
I voted to pass it.
Pass it? Okay, then yeah, okay, motion to reconsider has been called.
Okay, I can, yeah,
There,
I'm gonna yield to James.
wait, National Panhellenic Council?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one just now. Okay, reconsider.
I would like to, I'm gonna open it up to amend the amount that we funded to remove the 600 for photography and just do 4,400, and I'll explain why before you guys say anything. So I'm gonna yield to James.
Okay. First we have to vote to reconsider it. Is there a second to reconsider the motion?
Second.
Does there exist a need for debate? No indication of need for debate. The motion is called. All those in favor of reconsidering S59, say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. The ayes have it. The motion will be reconsidered. All right, so then now we are considering S59, a motion to fund the National Panel of the Council at $5,000 from the DIA fund.
First, I will motion to amend it to fund them for $4,400, and I will take questions, but we will explain right now as to why we're doing that.
All right, factual description, go ahead. The amendment is to change it from 5,000 to 4,400.
Yep, so due to conflict of interest from the DIA fund and myself, I would no longer be servicing photography for MPHC. Just a statement in the sense of it was never my intention to use DIA fund money for my own benefit. It was simply the fact out of a historical Black organization that needed help, and that was it. Mind you, I got this like yesterday, so that was that. So no back end stuff, no messed up stuff, just helping out a fellow org. So yeah.
Yeah.
Sponsorship yields to questions.
Yeah.
Are there questions about the amendment to lower the dollar amount? No questions? Is there a second for the amendment? 4,400.
4,400, correct.
All right. Second received. Does there exist a need for debate on the amendment? No indication. Then the amendment is called. All those in favor of the amendment, which is to change the amount to 4,400, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. All right, the ayes have it. The amendment is adopted. So now the motion is a motion to fund the National Panhellenic Council at $4,400 from the DIA fund. Is there a second for this motion? Does there exist a need for debate on this motion? With no indication of need for debate, the motion is called. All those in favor of passage, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. All right, ayes have it. The motion is passed. So now they've been funded at 4,400 instead of the 5,000. That concludes Senate business. We'll now move on to officer reports. Does any officer right now wish to give a report? I'll ask, please, urgent matters only. If you're a chair, I told you to give a verbal report, just forget about it. But unless it's something urgent, President Borowski, you're recognized.
I think we all learned a lot tonight, guys. But if you want to help with the Bright Act, please find me after Senate, and I'm going to give you a handout from the University Relations Student Advisory Board, who is getting students together to rally for more money in it. Thank you, guys, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you. Chair Trong?
Very briefly, anyone who's on the Financial Policy Forum Subcommittee, please fill out the schedule ASAP. We have amendments and a timetable that we need to keep on track for next Tuesday. So if you're on that subcommittee, fill out the schedule ASAP, like right after Senate. Financial Policy Reform Subcommittee.
Wait. Guys, I forgot. There was stuff got added to the agenda. We still have stuff to vote on. My bad, I forgot. It's the ballot referendum questions. Yeah, but it's after reports. Chair Mello?
Yeah, I heard from Massburg. They just wanted me to announce to everyone. I'm gonna send out their email information, but they just want to meet with people from SGA. They were really unhappy about people's questions. They felt like they wanted more time to really talk to people. This will be they're planning to put it up again next year, but they really want to have a deeper conversation, see if they really need it, see what people think. So please, if you're against it, if you have thoughts on it, please talk to them. I'll send out an email with some information. But yeah.
All right, does any other officer wish to give a report? Also, did anyone go to an SAB who wants to give a report? Vice President Nalivo?
It's faculty whatever. Yeah, I went to the athletics one with Peter, and we have invited Ryan Bamford to give the overview of the athletics and football budget to the Senate. That invitation has been given, and he has accepted it, but without a date. So he's planning right now on what Wednesday he can come, but you can look forward to that.
All right, any other SAB reports? You have one?
Yeah, Speaker Duvetti and I went to the Academic Affairs SAB. They said again that iClickers are going to be phased out for Top Hat and that they've been testing it within admin and I think a few different majors have used it. I think Eisenberg used it. And they said that Top Hat is better in almost every way, and that it will be free for students. Admin is paying the cost, so that way it is free for students. They also, okay, so then they made a big announcement, which is that they will be conducting major revisions to the way that gen eds are run. They're doing in theory, like a full overhaul of the gen ed system. They're reviewing all of the gen eds as they currently stand, and then looking at like what they could potentially do in the future. So maybe like some for like AI, like a gen ed on AI, or in just like tech as a whole, maybe some civics ones. But they're going to be looking for student feedback. They're going to be creating task forces within admin. And then from there, they'll create subcommittees, and they want student voices on subcommittees. And they're looking for preferably students that are freshmen and sophomores who will be able to serve on these subcommittees for multiple years and talk about their own experiences in gen eds. And so there'll be a lot more on that coming soon, and I'm sure Parshid will be coming to give more talks about that as more progress is made. But they did want to just make that announcement. So thanks.
Are there any more SAB reports? All right, in that case, JD, anything?
No.
All right, then we'll move on to the stuff that was added onto the agenda. It was the 3 ballot questions to place these on the ballot as an advisory referendum, right?
Yes.
Okay.
An action referendum.
Action referendum. Okay, these are action referendums. We'll start with the first one, I guess. The sponsorships recognized for factual description. Oh, no.
Motion to block vote all 3 of these.
Okay, motion to block vote. Yeah, motion to block vote. Whatever. Yeah. Okay, motion to block vote is fine.
Oh,
Is there a second? All right, those in favor of block voting, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Those abstaining, say abstain. All right, ayes have it, we'll block vote on all 3. So does the sponsorship want to give a factual description of all 3?
As I said earlier, I met with Faculty Senate Secretary Tony Pate. We went over this. We're going to see how students feel about it. No action will be taken as a result of this directly. Depending on what Student Affairs University Living decides, we might take one of the first 5 options. We want to see how often students are getting hit, if they're getting hit, and then see what the university is going to do comparing it to other universities across the country with e-mobility devices, including scooters, e-bikes, hoverboards, one wheels. Yeah.
Other questions? Chair Hood? Go ahead.
Won't this be like a super convenient sample of like only people that have like had bad experiences with scooters will fill this out?
It's on the ballot, so everyone who votes in the SGA election will vote on it.
Yeah,
so.
but I assume you're gonna be posting, have you ever been hit by a scooter? Vote on it, and then that sounds.
I feel like it's. Do you want to amend it so we have like more neutral wording?
We're in the questioning period. Questions only. The question was answered. We'll move on.
Will you advertise?
Vice President. Well, do you have a follow-up question?
Yeah, my question is, will you advertise this objectively?
Yes, I will. Me and Interim Secretary for the Silva will make sure that this is not a did you get hit, fill out this form so we can ban e-scooters. That's not our goal with this. Our goal is to serve as a student body.
Okay. Are there any further questions? Are there further questions?
Do you have a question? Point of information. Okay. Any questions?
Are there further questions? Vice President Nalivo, go ahead.
Sorry, point of clarification allowed? The admin's already talking about this, so it's not like we're introducing a conversation. They already have a committee and they already talk about it.
Yeah. This went through SOL, which has representatives from admin and UMPD and students and the faculty senate. We're all just getting info on this. Yes, exactly. This is not like my pet project.
All right. Thank you. Are there further questions? Factual questions for the sponsorship? All right. Is there a second for the 3 ballot questions? Does there exist a need for debate on the 3 ballot questions? With no indication of need for debate, the motions are called. We will vote on all 3 ballot questions to decide whether they should be placed on the ballot as action referendums. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Those abstaining say abstain. All right, the ayes have it. These questions will be placed on the ballot in the election. All right. that does conclude our business now. The associate speaker will record the ending roll call.
Okay, guys, I need it to be quiet because I need to hear people, please. Senator Shrafi. Senator Shrafi absent. Senator Bauman. Senator Bauman present. Senator Baker. Here. Senator Baker present. Senator Belair. Senator Belair present. Senator Breen. Senator Breen absent. Senator Calvo. Senator Calvo present. Senator Chamu. Senator Chamu absent. Senator Chaparro. Senator Chaparro present. Senator DeRiggi. Senator DeRiggi present. Chair Dami. Chair Dami present. Senator Dang. Senator Dang present. Senator Pachiso. Senator Pachiso present. Senator Haycock. Senator Haycock absent. Senator Erfle Espinal. Senator Hirondani. Senator Hirondani absent. Chair Hood. Chair Hood present. Senator Huang. Senator Huang present. Senator Conan. Senator Conan present. Senator Keel. Senator Kennedy. Senator Kennedy present. Chair Kim. Chair Kim present. Senator Cohison. Senator Cohison present. Senator Lamore. Senator Malari. Senator Malari absent. Senator Mari. Senator Mari present. Senator Misam. Senator Martos. Martos present.
Oh no. Oh no.
Senator Misam. Senator Misam absent. Senator Chair Mello. Chair Mello present. Senator Malaskino. Chair Malaskino present. Senator Nellibo. Chair Nellibo present. Senator Ing. Senator Ing present. Chair Nguyen. Chair Onyeka. Chair Onyeka present. Senator Dish Patel. Senator Dish Patel absent. Senator Mesh Patel. Mesh Patel absent. Senator Rai Patel. Senator Rai Patel present. Senator Rai Patel. Patel absent. Senator Reed. Senator Reed present. Senator Rogers. Senator Rogers present. Senator Roy. Senator Roy absent. Senator Saini. Senator Saini absent. Senator Schuette. Senator Schuette present. Senator Siegel. Senator Siegel present. Senator Sun. Senator Sun present. Chair Swirsky. Chair Swirsky present. Senator Tacky. Senator Tacky present. Senator Tajwani. Senator Tajwani absent. Senator Chow. Senator Chow absent. Senator Tick. Senator Tick absent. Senator Torngriff. Senator Torngriff absent. Chair Strong. Chair Strong present. Senator Vlatka. Senator Vlatka present. Senator Valencia Gallego.
Present.
Senator Valencia Gallego present. Senator Vender Wilson. Senator Vender Wilson present. Senator Verma. Senator Verma present. Senator Walker Hoover. Senator Walker Hoover present. Senator Wu. Senator Wu present.
All right, are there any motions on the floor? Is there a second? Those in favor of adjournment, say aye. Those opposed, say no. Those abstaining, say abstain. The ayes have it, and the meeting is adjourned.